fine. Hopefully, it's not too loud. It's not too loud. I feel like it's gonna be really bad, but I am just trying to catch up. Sorry, I have not been streaming for the past like 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Oh God. 2 weeks. Oh God. 2 weeks. Oh God. Oh my God. The goddamn. What do you call it? Okay, cool. I'm gonna remove that. Okay, great. That should be up. That should be posted. I feel like I'm missing something. School bus graveyard and Google ad. Okay. Look, I'm trying my best here. I'm not the one putting these ads anymore. I'm not the one putting these ads. I literally stopped doing that. Still baking a pie? No, I'm changing the title on Twitch. I was changing it and then everything kind of broke on my end. What did I call today's episode again? Today's episode is called something I've completely forgotten. Comic platforms and you. That's what it is. Let's go a Webcomics Hubcast. Ready? I'm in comic platform purgatory. That is true. That is true. Because there's so many of them, and I want this to be one of the last times I do this. I wanted to about. Yeah, okay, done. Everything's posted, everything's done. Actually, no, I need to do the Instagram. I think people who show up really early to the streams have this unfortunate reality that they have to basically watch me do social media because I absolutely fucking hate Instagram. I never remember to do the Instagram post. I know for a fact that there are people who only watch me on Instagram who will never know if I tweet, if I don't make the Instagram post. And so if you follow me on Instagram, please just use something else, anything else, any other platform. You will be happier. I promise you. I promise you, Instagram viewers, you will be happier if you look at this anywhere else in the world. I swear to God. Use Blue Sky instead. Literally me never posting a single thing to Blue Sky. I've completely. Hold on. How do you do the? Oh, there it is. I helped a friend with some cosplay photos and they asked me for an Instagram to credit, and I linked them my completely empty, no avatar Insta account. Oh, I love you so much for that. I love you so much for that. It's so based. Do it. Like more people should do that. Instagram is the worst social media. Also, let's link the Hub stream channels in the bio. The thing is, I know I actually do have I have the links link there, so anybody can use that. I always post it because I've been told multiple times that people forget to check my profile, and so you want to get them while they're looking at the story, and so I have to do the post like that. I have literally been yelled at by people to do this. Also, can I just say this? Remember our conversation about social media platforms that said I don't really like Kara? Blue Sky recently added the ability to send DMs. I'm not gonna lie, they really did a good job almost convincing me to make Blue Sky a main place. DMs are so important for my work, like when I'm working, right? DMs are so important. And so like just the fact that I can post them is really important. Right, that I can send people DMs, really important because now I can reach out to people, and because more people on Blue Sky are more open to the people they follow. I'm actually being followed by a lot more people than I'm usually being followed by. People that like I want to talk to. So it's a great accessibility point for me, and I quite like that. Um, is Woodworks one word or two words? I'm just gonna put the hyphen. I'm just gonna assume it's two words. Someone send me an Instagram link. Okay. There's my friend who has a cat. Okay. One of the few times Duolingo is mad at me. I have not done my Duolingo training this week for my Korean class. I am missing my streak. Guys, pray for me. Pray for me today on this day, the day of my daughter's quinceañera. Okay. Okay. Where are we? Where is the thing I was looking for? There. Oh, okay. How's the audio, by the way? Am I loud? Is my voice good? Is it clear? Is it crackly? Anything? Any complaints? This is the time to tell me before I transition into doing all the stuff. Sounds good. Sounds good on all platforms. Everyone's happy. Good. Great. This is a very rare moment when chat is happy. The first time you've been in a stream while it was live. Hey, Kira. How do I say your name? Is it Kira? Like light, like light Yagami, or is it Kira? You're drawing. Great to know. Is it Kira or Kira or like what? Also, you watch the VODs? Okay, cool. You never leave comments? How could you? How could you do this to me? I'm joking. I'm glad that you're here live. Am I telling you that Kira is like Yagami? Yeah, it is, unfortunately. He is. I hate to say it, King. I know this is a shock to the entire community. Yeah, I know. No one ever expected Kira to be like Yagami. Death Note spoilers. I have a few things. Okay. In fact, where do I start? I'm going to start. I'm going to start with this. We have a few things to talk about today. And I want to just kind of start with something very important. Start by saying something very important. I'm going to be very mean to a bunch of platforms today. Okay? And I'm going to do that because I have to. Because I think it's really important to honestly talk about this stuff. And if I'm being honest with myself, being mean is the only way I could talk about this. And I'm going to be mean to some things that I do like and some things I don't like. And I'm going to try and compartmentalize how I'm talking about this today so that you guys can really like, I'm going to try and really like put like a lot of compartments here so you guys can really understand where I'm coming from and where I'm going and everything. So there's a lot to get to. And I think the first thing I want to talk about is there's a lot of platforms. So we're going to get into the start. We're getting into the start. Let's see. What's today's date? Today's the 20th of June? July? Okay. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the episode of the Webcomics Hubcast episode. I don't remember. It's supposed to be 6, I think. It's episode 6, Comic Platforms and You. I'm your host, Nen. As always, depressed, miserable, and raw dogging capitalism, like the rest of us. And I want to talk to you guys today about comic platforms. There's no baking stream today. We're back where we need to be. We're talking about comic platforms. And I want to preface this by saying that, like, this is not going to... If you've not seen the previous video I did, where I did a tier list of comic platforms, please go watch that. It's a very clear, concise conversation, and I think it was very much had correctly, where I talked about the different ways platforms could work and what I think is the best. And I'm going to say this, I still think Webtoon and Global Comics are doing the most interesting things. I have a mild problem with Namikomi, especially with some information I found out about them recently. And I have other problems with other platforms for lots of reasons. And I think Comic Fury is still one of the best places if you want to self-host but cannot afford to self-host. So I want to just start with that, and then I want to get into what I'm going to talk about. Have you noticed that there's been a lot of platforms lately? I have, because I get contacted a lot by a lot of different people, okay? Either I contact them, or they contact me, or I get harassed, or I tweet about them. You guys, if you follow me on Twitter at webcomics_hub, or you follow me on Blue Sky at webcomicshub.co.uk, actually I don't really post on Blue Sky, but that's going to change soon. But if you follow me on Twitter, you probably saw me one day posting a tweet I'm going to show on screen right now. So this was a few months ago. Sorry, I'm trying to keep my screens clean. I have like 4 browsers open. I feel like people will freak out when they know I have like four or 5 different browsers, each with like 30 tabs open. It's truly a thing that I do. I am truly one of the people of all time. Anyway. Cool. There it is. So if you follow me on Twitter, you probably saw this tweet. Ignore the tabs at the top. You probably saw this tweet that I made. This tweet where I said I got access to the alpha for a comic app Storygrounds. Lots of thoughts, but there's an AI image generator like right inside the app, lol. In fairness to them, it only generates a generic anime characters. No direct art style theft to be seen so far. And I did record footage. Oh, by the way, this is from Longer Penis in chat. That's their chat name. Love them. Biggest fan. Anyway, so you probably saw I made this tweet. Here's what's been happening the past couple of months that I haven't really had time to talk about. I have basically downloaded every single comic app. I have all of them on my phone. All of them, even the defunct ones. I have all of them on my phone, and I've been opening them and using them and reading on them and trying to get to grips with engaging with these platforms. All the apps that exist. Even if you remember doing the live stream, I had the Vivid. I talked about Vivid panel. I've got that. And I've been using all the websites. I'm literally on everything. I have an account everywhere, even in places where they say I can't make an account but they don't actually pay attention to the security or something, and so I can make an account. It's really weird. Anyway, I have all the comic apps. I've been on their websites. I've used them. I've also used, and I want to contextualize something. I have also used all of the illegal stuff, all of them. I have been on all the illegal comic websites. I've been on all the. I have a MangaDex account. I read on Read Comics Online. I've used Tachiomi, which is not strictly speaking illegal, but whatever. I have opened everything. I even have a few Japanese and Korean ones. If it exists, I've downloaded it. If it's in another country, I've spoofed my location for it. And I'm bringing that up to say something. There's a lot of them. So far, my current count is about 32. Now, I'm probably missing some. Stuff that's super underground that I didn't pay attention to, or stuff I couldn't even find because it just is in Korean or in Japanese or in a language I can't read, right? Especially because there's a lot in France. Apparently, there's a lot in France, like Webtoon Factory, which is one that's from France and like mostly operates with European comics, that are just like very niche and don't have a lot of adoption, even though they are successful, it seems. And there's stuff that also exists specifically for specific content releases. Like if you play the MMO game Whack Fu, like me when I was like 8 or whatever, but if you play the MMO game Whack Fu, it has its own app that it uses to launch the game, and in the app, I think you can also read the comics in there. So there's all these little things you need to be aware of. I'm prefacing all of this to kind of get you up to speed. Like, I am not talking from a position of favoritism, as in there is nothing. No one's paying me, okay? No one's fucking paying me. I like very few of these platforms, and like. I'm coming into this after seeing the gamut of experiences, looking around. As creepy guys like to say, I have sampled the tasting menu. So I've put the time in. Also, I think it's really funny that Adoraburb has a Blue Jay picture, because I've been watching this YouTuber Blue Jay a lot lately. And it just throws me off realizing that they're not the same person. Anyway. I even used this one website. Let me actually show you. They're called Hooper. Hooper. Comics. Is it Hooper Comics or Hoopo? I feel like I've forgotten the name. They like sell books and comic, and they do books and comics. I think it's Hooper. It might be Hooper. It might be Hopple or something. I forget. It's also an H. But yeah, I've been on all the different platforms, and I think one of the things that's happened is, one, I've noticed that there's been a ridiculous uptick in new ones announcing that they're around. They've all been around for a little bit longer than they tell you, but they're announcing now that they're around. And I just wanted to kind of talk about 3 or 4 key ones today. Talk about what I think is happening. Like, why there's so many. And, like, I want to talk about what we should do about it. And by we, I think there's a we that is me and you, creators. I think there's a we that is me, that is audiences, our readers. I think there's a we that is people who want to make a difference in this industry. And I mean a real fucking difference. Because comics is not a place you go into for money if you are not a big corporation. And so, since I've kind of outlined where I want to go, kind of outlined what I want to talk about, I think we'll start like this. If you remember in the platform list, there are, in my opinion, 4 major platforms that matter. Everything else does not fucking matter. So if all you came to this video for is where do I post my shit, you're about to hear all 4 places. Webtoon, Global Comics, Tapas app, still, and Namikomi. If you're an English-speaking comic creator, that's all you got. I hate to say it. If you're confident in hosting yourself outside of the platforms, you've got Comic Fury and you can make your own website. But that's pretty much it if you're an English-speaking creator. And those 4 platforms kind of own the majority, if not all, the market share with different of online comics reading, with different focuses in different parts of the industry. Webtoon focuses a lot more on Korean, Japanese content, and also user-generated content. Tapas focuses a lot more on romance and BL and user-generated content. Global Comics focuses a lot more on the American side of comics, from what it seems to be right now, and user-generated and some user-generated content. That's a lower percentage. And Namikomi focuses heavily on user-generated content, almost exclusively, with a big focus on trying to be the hub for creators. Although, anyway, whatever. I don't want to. There's stuff I want to tell you about them, but I never want to say it because I feel like it's unfounded. I'll bring it up later as a conspiracy theory, but I feel like it's unfounded. But I just want you to know that I have opinions on them that may not be as nice as I want them to be, but I also don't want to make claims about what they're doing because I don't think that they're doing anything bad. Anyway, so those are the 4 main platforms, right? Those are the 4 main platforms operating. And one of the things that they all have in common is that they are all competing on the same plane, okay? And if you're wondering, what do I mean by plane? I'm about to open Paint. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, we're in the Pirate Software Paint program. Pirate Software Paint program. I'm so cooked. Okay, so let me just make sure you guys can actually see this. Okay, so here's what I think. Here's what I think about this. Oh god, I'm trying to move the drawing layer of the stream. And I'm trying to move it like 2 centimeters to the right. Anyway, it's not moving. Here's what I think. I think that in any content market, in any market where content is being delivered, right? You've got a few layers you can build on. There's layer 1. This is basically direct to consumer. We're gonna call this DTC, right? This is the layer where you will have your typical platforms. Everything they make and everything they structure their lives around are for the general audience. In fact, let's say direct to general consumer. Right? This is the bottom layer of the industry. I think above this is what I like to call DTPC, which is like direct to power consumer. Okay? And I think at the top of all of this is, what do you call it? Niche, and, oh god, wrong thing. Niche micro celebrity content. Niche micro content, really. Right? And I'm going to explain what all this stuff is. This is how I understand it. Like, this is not industry proven terms. This is just how I talk about it in my own head. I had this conversation with myself for like a week now, so hopefully it's making sense. I think Webtoon and Tapas and TP, appropriate for Tapas, they are toilet paper, and Global Comics and Namikomi, they're all here. Their whole goal is to make a platform that appeals to the general consumer. The general consumer can go there and acquire content. YouTube is a DTGC platform. Netflix is a DTGC platform, right? These platforms are aiming for me and you, just a regular person, right? A regular normie out there who just wants to engage with some content, has no real big awareness of the industry. Sorry, my fan moved, and it's so goddamn hot in this country. Has no real big awareness of what they want to read. They have some broad strokes. I want to read fantasy kind of stuff, and they just go and engage with the content, right? I think above that is DTPC, which is what do you call it? To direct to what I call power consumers. A power consumer is the kind of person who, okay, I know I'm talking to artists, so you're all going to agree with this. You all watch commentary YouTube. All of you watch commentary YouTube. I know you all feel called out, and I just said you watch Drew Gooden or Jarvis Johnson or Chad or whatever the hell when you're drawing because you don't want noise to fill the space. You all listen to commentary YouTube. You don't just watch one, though. You don't just engage with one commentary YouTuber, usually. You often engage with dozens of commentary YouTubers at the same time, right? They're all kind of related to each other as well. They all talk to each other. You relate to a community of creators who are all kind of similar. You're a power consumer. That's what you are. You're a power consumer. And so as a power consumer, one of the things that you will do is you will often seek out a better version of the content. And I say this because I'm a power consumer and I have Nebula. And I feel like I said Nebula, and 90% of you are like, I know what Nebula is. Every single person I follow, I've watched commentary YouTube, they tell me about Nebula. They always show Nebula. They have Nebula. But I have Nebula. I have a lifetime Nebula subscription. It cost me $300. I paid one time, and I'm a power consumer. What power consumers do is they seek out premium content from the people that they like that is of a higher quality, but they do not want to engage with it because it is because it's a high quality piece of content. They want to engage with it because in their mental space, to me it seems, they seem to believe that this content is much closer to the vision of the creator. And because they want to engage with that creator to some extent, sorry, somebody sent me a DM, I was wondering what it was. To some extent, they want to engage with that creator to some extent parasocially, right? To some extent parasocially, they will engage with this like more premium platform. It's not because the creator is in there making movies. They don't give a shit if the creator is making movies. They only give a shit, right, that the creator on the platform is making something that is closer to what they conceive to be like the original version of the work. Does that make sense so far? Like, am I losing you? Am I fucking this up? Am I? Oh my God, my internet is dropping out. What's going on? My internet just dropped out. Guys, am I still here? Am I still here? Okay, cool. Oh, I thought my internet just dropped out. Sorry, it's me then. Give me a second, actually. Give me a second. Anyway. Give me like 1 second. Let me just check something. I think. Okay. Okay. Sorry, I'm torrenting something, and it's on, and it was just taking up bandwidth. I was torrenting a Linux distro, and it was taking up bandwidth. Anyway. Sorry about that. Anyway. Okay. We're back. What I'm saying is DTPC, direct to power consumer, is essentially a layer of content that is made for people who are that is made for people who are looking for work that is more true to the creators that they care about. When you are a general consumer, you watch things based on the general themes that you're looking for. You watch YouTube videos because they've got romance in them, right? You watch them because they're funny. But when you're a power consumer, you watch specific groups of people that all seem to have an interlinked like identity, is what I'm saying. And that's what a power consumer engages with. And so when you and so there are platforms made for people who are power consumers. There's platforms like Nebula, a place where everybody on there is connected by some kind of linked, shared, similar identity. And while often the content is all within the sphere of things that you're interested in. DTGC, liking cheese. DTPC, liking cheese from a specific factory. Yes, from a very specific factory. And so you go to that factory and you eat it doesn't matter what kind of cheese they've got. You're just there because that factory is making the cheese. That's a really good one, Inky. And I really appreciate that. That's very helpful. And then there's like a top layer one, which I call niche micro content. Yeah, Tate, exactly. Tate, that's it. Actually, that's it. Hold on, I have a new thing. Let me see if it's working. I have a new thing that I want to use now in chat, in streams. And let me hope it works. So Tate, yes, that's it. What you just said there, Tate, is what it is. It's engaging with the identity and not the content, right? It's engaging with the identity and not the content. It is essentially, you are now focused on like who these people are, not the thing that they made. There's like a higher level than this. Think of like the Jake Pauls, the Logan Pauls, and the KSIs. There's a point where the only thing you care about as a content consumer is the niche micro content. As in, this person makes this video in this way all the time. So if this isn't like subscribing to Dropout, if you know what Dropout is still power consumer stuff. Subscribing to the Try Guys video platform, that's niche micro content. You are specifically aiming for just the Try Guys and absolutely fucking nothing else, right? Niche micro content. You guys see where I'm coming from here? You see all these different layers of interaction I think exist on top of each other? Inky says DTPC. Oh, let me just highlight that. Inky says DTPC sort of seems like the social media evolution of a brand identity. Yes, that is actually a perfect way to word that. And Geek Boy says, so basically, if somebody wants to make a webtoon comic about a thing, they end up consuming as much of that thing as they can, so they could create said thing. Sort of, right? Like when somebody likes a webtoon or comic about a thing, what they do is they end up consuming so much of that type of content that like they would want to pay money just to read, consuming that much of that type of content. But like if they when they find the version of it that they love, right? They love engaging with. The user would want to essentially start subscribing to something or paying for something that allows them to get just that kind of content from the creators that all seem to have a similar identity to the creator that made the content they absolutely love. I know this is really complicated. But just, I'm sorry, bear with me. Inky's really getting it though. So what would an example of this be for comics currently? I'll get to that. So Inky's like, it also seems to be defined by different levels of curation, how much confidence you have in that curation. Yeah, there's lots of different things that are affecting this like user engagement. I love how the moment I started getting complicated and I put a thing on the screen, I lost like 10 viewers on YouTube. Funny as shit. Anyway. Sorry. It always makes me laugh when I try to be smart and then it backfires. Anyway, what is the version of this? So, this general consumer stuff is Webtoon, Tapas, Global Comics, right? Stuff for the general consumer. This power consumer stuff, right now, we don't really have too much of it, but I would say Hiveworks is probably the closest. Hiveworks and Slipshine, which is also from Hiveworks. These are probably the closest things we've got right now to like power consumer stuff. Okay? If you notice it when you go on Hiveworks' website, all the comics on Hiveworks have a very similar vibe. They're not the same kind of content, but but the Hiveworks factory has a signature and it puts out stuff. Spider Forest 2 counts. I just forgot to put them, to be honest. They count too. They all have like a vibe, a feel that seems to be curated by the other things that are on there. For this niche micro content, we don't really have that, but if Merryweathery made a webcomic platform, that's when we would have one of these. If that makes sense. Cool. Yeah, we're in class, babe. We're in class. Anyway, so if Merryweathery made a webcomic platform, then like it would happen. Anyway, so why am I bringing all of this shit up? Almost everybody in the industry right now, right? Nami Komi, Global Comics, Webtoon, Tapas, everybody seems to be opening platforms to appeal to this kind of consumer, the direct to the general consumer, right? The everyman. And there's a problem with that. General consumers aren't very flexible people. And I say this because I'm about to call you all out again. Who has a Netflix account here? And if you say yes, do you also have a Roku account? Who has a YouTube account here? And if you say yes, do you also have a Vimeo account? You see what I'm trying to get at here? Like, or if you're an older YouTube user, if you have a YouTube account, did you also get a blip.tv account or a Channel Awesome account? Or do you just have a YouTube account? Right? Like, do you see what I'm getting at though? there's a level of engage, like general consumers are. You don't do any streaming services, Django? Okay, Django, guys. What do you call it? Clap in the chat for Django. They are an enlightened centrist. They do. Please pogs in the chat for Django, the enlightened centrist who does not stream. Just capital P, small letter O, small letter G. Just post that. Pog in the chat for the based king. That is Django. We truly live in the future. Anyway, bow to me, peasant. Django. Okay, this is completely fucking. What is your screen time today? What is your screen time today, Django? Tell me right now. What's your screen time, King? Dailymotion is great for illegal uploads of TV shows. 3 hours? Dude, my screen time is 7 hours. My screen time today is 7 hours. What do you mean 3? 3! Oh, I'm so cooked. Look, I should be clear. All I do on my screen is read, so I only read. No, that's not the problem. I'm so cooked. Django has been awake for 3 hours. Has only been awake for 3 hours, and all 3 of those hours have been spent reading. I've been on their phone. Honestly based. Anyway, let me focus. So, every platform right now is making content for general consumers. And as we've all just kind of, in this small, not very official survey, kind of shown, right? General consumers are creatures of habit. They pick one website and they go to it every day, right? Like, they very rarely go to different websites unless those different websites really fulfill different things for them, right? General consumers will go to they'll go to YouTube and that's it. They'll go to YouTube and that's it. They'll go to YouTube, sometimes Netflix, and that's it, right? They don't have a lot of channel places they go for video. Or they go to YouTube and TikTok, and that's kind of it for them. Like, that's it. General consumers are just very lazy. Yeah, they're very lazy. It's hard to motivate them to action, Inky. It's actually so perfect. We're talking about different layers of interaction for comics, for media. There are platforms that make stuff for general consumers, direct to general consumers. Platforms that make stuff for power consumers, direct to power consumers. And this top one is called niche micro content. And it's like, we know the Try Guys streaming platform, that's niche micro content. That's it. Anyway, what I'm getting to with all this shit is essentially like, when it comes to the content landscape, the general consumer market is very small and very specific, and the users are, as Inky says in the highlighted chat, very fucking lazy. They only want to go to one or two places, and then they don't want to go anywhere else. And so, if you compete on the same level as Webtoon in this general consumer spot, you are often putting yourself in a really, really bad place. Because essentially, it means that you're competing with somebody that's already a base. Like, if let's say there's only 2 slots, which there really are only like 1 or 2 slots in the user's brain for content consumption, right? Webtoon's already taken one of those slots, so the second slot is just empty, and you're fighting 900 other people for the second slot, and that's all you're fighting. That's all you can, right? So you're gonna get. You're not gonna dethrone Webtoon. You're fighting a bunch of other stragglers for a small spot next to Webtoon that may not even prove to be profitable. So I personally have a problem with the fact that all the new platforms that are coming out, if you look at all the stuff that's been coming out in terms of Storygrounds, in terms of in terms of Storyco, we're going to talk about them today, and another platform, and a bunch of other platforms, we will notice that they're all very similar in that they're all doing the same thing of appealing to this general consumer content market. I think that that's the reason why when we see them, we all feel very uncomfortable, right? What, like, as creators, we just see a clone and we're a clone platform. And we're like, what is even really different about you? What are you doing that's actually really helping? Or are you just saying you're different in name only? And we feel that way because it is that way. It is literally like that. It feels that way because we're correct, right? And also, yeah, a great point is that Inky talked about is, even in the market in which we're talking about, Webtoon competes with itself. So you're not only fighting a bunch of other platforms for that second slot, you're technically also fighting Webtoon's Canvas section for that second slot. Like, you're competing with everybody. It sucks. I think it's a very toxic market to engage with, but people are engaging with it for whatever reason. And I just kind of wanted to talk about the platforms that I've spoken to, tell you where they fall in that little tower I just showed you, and explain my problems, my thoughts, everything, and just kind of talk about what the next steps are for us. I'm sorry this was a whole intro where I basically did math and I took you to class, but hopefully everything makes sense right now, and so we're going to progress. If you have any questions before I go on, that's a great time to ask them. No, you can go to the bathroom. Cool. Next question. Next question. What's wrong with me? I was about to ask. You can't go to the bathroom. I'm sorry. This is pee where you stand. Is mayonnaise an instrument? No. When I do the dense information thing, I take a break so that nobody gets crazy. Things are about to get... No, you can't go to the bathroom. If you go to the bathroom, I'm going to call the principal. Will my wife let me see the kids? No. I'm sorry, she's gone forever. When I get writer credit with all these bangers, I can give you writer credit. I can actually just put that in the description. I'm not even kidding. You say that like I wouldn't do it. Will your COVID ever end? Yes, it will. Eventually, honey. Okay. All right, gamers. Let's get brain funky. Turn your brains on. Take your ADHD medication. Drink your drink. Because I want to kind of continue us somewhere. So, I have spoken to 4 separate platforms. Let's say 4. Spoken to more than 4. But I've spoken to 4 specifically for this video. Right? And I've also researched them and I've read about them. We're going to talk today about Storyco. We're going to talk today about Shortbread. We're going to talk today about Storygrounds, the one in this tweet. And we're going to talk about Uri, a relatively very newcomer who I haven't gotten the chance to speak to, but I have some thoughts on, and I really want to share that with the class. Okay? Cool. I think first things first, let's talk about my contest. This website isn't finished yet. Don't judge me on the website. Don't you fucking judge me on the website. So if you didn't know this, the Webcomics Hub Comic Jam, I just fucking flashbanged everyone. The Webcomics Hub Comic Jam is coming up. It's called the Words and Pictures Comic Jam, and it's going to be starting August 1st. So if you go to the website, wordsandpictures.xyz, I'm going to put that on the screen now so that everyone can see it. You know what the worst part is? It immediately put it in white font. It immediately put it in white font. Anyway, if you go to the website, wordsandpictures.xyz, right now, wordsandpictures.xyz, and you click on Notify Me, you can get notified as soon as the contest starts. We have lots of great prizes there for you to win there. First place gets $500 Clip Studio X perpetual license, and an XP Pen Artist Pro 14 tablet. Yes, that's a screen tablet, baby. I secured that for you. 14-inch screen tablet, and you could have the chance to win this if you go and click Notify Me, so you can get all the emails for when everything starts. And if you're wondering what is the theme of the contest going to be, it's all going to get revealed on the 1st of August. And if you go, what about third place? They might get shit prizes. Well, they get a non-screen drawing tablet, but they also get Clip Studio X license for 6 months and $200. Why did I use .xyz? Because that domain cost $1. I'm glad we had this conversation. Also, every wordsandpictures.com is taken. Every version of that name is taken. I did my goddamn best. Okay? I'm gonna have a secret second domain that links here, but yeah, just wanted you to know. Anyway, so go look at the website, wordsandpictures.xyz. The link is going to be in chat, probably. If I can move my butt to post it in there. I did move my butt to post it in there. Look at me. Oh God, it won't let me post it on Twitch. Anyway. Yeah, so go do that. Click notify me. Put your email in so I can send you an email. I'm not going to harass you. It's only going to be used to inform you of 3 things. The start of the contest, the theme of the contest, and the start of next year's contest. That was the only thing your email will ever be used for. You will never get a random email from me asking you to give me money or pay for anything or sign up to anything, ever. It will just be this contest, next contest, information. And that's all it will be. That'll be next August. So it'll be this August and next August. So now you don't worry yourself. If you want to know what a comic jam is, we can talk about that later. But anyway, back to the things we're going to talk about. So we were talking about platforms. The platform I want to talk about first is Shortbread. Actually, no, sorry, Storygrounds. Because I've spoken about them and I wasn't very nice. And I want to start with something. In my tweet about Storygrounds, I mentioned how they have AI image generation built into their application, and it doesn't steal art styles, etc. I want to talk about Storygrounds because Storygrounds is an interesting conceptual platform. So Storygrounds is still a general consumer platform. It really is just a general consumer platform. But the whole point that it's going for is that it wants a system through which creators can make a comic, and their audiences can have an input into the comic making production. The audiences can create and submit additional art. They can create and submit dialogue lines and stuff to kind of enhance it. And the artists, the creators of these comics, put out bounties for the next chapters to kind of get a bit of user engagement. And that word user engagement, keep it in your mind. It's going to come up a few times. Yeah, it's literally quests. It's just a questing system into your comic platform. You might all be sitting there going, that sounds absolutely fucking terrible. Whose idea was that? Don't say that, because that would make me look like I'm mean. I'm not mean. Okay, look, I'm going to level with you. I think it's a bad idea. I don't want to lie to you guys. I love you guys, so I'm going to be upfront. I think it's a bad idea. I don't like the idea. I think any idea that involves putting users up to this much work is not a good idea, personally, right? And I just want to be upfront about that. But it's not choose your own adventure, because all you're doing is providing a suggestion. The artist can decide not to go with it. 1, 2, the suggestion I think it gets voted on, if I remember correctly, because I've used the app. It kind of gets voted on. And 3, if your users don't have engagement with you or don't really have opinions, it basically falls flat on its face. Storygrounds, I've used the Storygrounds app. The reader is fine, but most of the experience is not very fun. And with the Gen AI that they used to have in, and we'll talk about that in a moment, Gen AI they used to have in, like, users would essentially generate like outfits and concepts and backgrounds and stuff that would be suggestions for the artist to kind of build off their story. So nobody was taking AI and putting it into their comics, but it was all part of this wider system of story building, right? Now, I should say something as like due diligence. They have removed the AI. They have removed the entire fucking AI. All the AI. In fact, can I show? Hold on, let me see something. I want to show you guys something, but I don't want to out somebody unless I think it's worth it. Okay, cool. I can show you this. In fact, the CEO of Storygrounds, Andrew, I have so much spam. Andrew sent me a DM. It's in my message requests. Andrew, if you're watching this, I'm gonna be honest with you, King. I saw this last Friday. Why have I not accepted it? I'm just an asshole. But I saw this on Friday. So he sent me a message on the 10th. He sent me a message on the 10th. I'm not gonna showcase it because I don't want to like show DMs like that. But I'm just showing it as like this is a real DM I got. The CEO and co-founder of Storygrounds sent me a message explaining how they removed AI, why they removed AI, how they appreciate suggestions, blah blah blah, and like they seem like a very genuine company who genuinely thought that the AI stuff was going to add value. Okay? Also, hey, Thomas, nice to see you, bud. It's good to see you, honestly, man. Long time no see, truly. We love Thomas in YouTube chat. But anyway, the CEO of Storygrounds reached out, told me that they removed it. They made a YouTube video. That's this YouTube video right here, saying that they've removed it. And basically, almost everything has been, we've removed generative AI. No more generative AI in the thing. Now, I just got a DM. Who could that be from? Okay, cool. It would have been so scary if it was him. Anyway, cool. Somebody said in the chat, the entire concept of Storygrounds seems exhausting. There it is. You're right. It's incredibly exhausting. I use the app for a sum total of like 2.5, 3 weeks. The app is currently off. Everything has been taken down. They're relaunching the app in like September or October or something. So until then, we're not going to know what they're going to be doing. But essentially, the version of the app that I was using, which is an alpha version, was not very fun. I don't like the flagship comic that they're coming in with, and I generally did not enjoy being on the application. As a thing that's supposed to appeal to general consumers, it is not doing the job very well. Because, as you've said, it's a lot of work. And as a creative, it's a lot of emotional taxing on me. I have no idea how the creators on this felt, right? There's a lot of emotional tax on me. There's a lot of emotional tax on my readers. Like, it's supposed to be my hobby, not my job. Audiences also don't have a strong connection with the creatives that are in charge. And, like, essentially, what is the point here? Like, what is the point? Basically, I have input in the story, but I already have input in the story. It's called leaving a fucking comment. And then I realized something, and I'm going to bring something up. It's going to sound like a little boogeyman, but it'll come up again. The reason they have the feature is because it shows engagement. That's what it is. It shows engagement. And engagement is something that we're going to come back to. Because a lot of these platforms and the people that are paying them and the people that they want to be paying them are all talking to me about engagement. Now, let me just address a thing that Inky said. This sort of engagement is also like for the super fans and not the general reader. Most readers never comment or interact past reading, so they would look at this and think it's not for them. What's crazy is the little quest that they would put up. I would see like a good few entries every single time. But like, if I told you I ever voted for one, I'd be lying. I made like 1 or 2 entries to test out the entry feature, but it was so hard to engage with. I literally kept shutting my brain down. Every single time I tried to do something, I would shut my brain down and like just leave. Okay? I'm not like, I'm bringing all this stuff up to be like, this is what they're putting to the general consumer. It was not fun. It's not a fun thing. It's Gartic phone, but not just with my goddamn friends. What did Tate say? If you want that experience, you should become a DM, not a comic creator. Yeah, based. I hate to say it. King, you've cooked. I hate to say it. Like, you're right. Like, this is just so goddamn true. Anyway, Storygrounds, I don't remember how much money they got. I remember looking into this and kind of having a rough number in my head, but they got a sizable amount of money to run this. And one of the things that's interesting is I think they likely got their money from A16. Let's talk about A16 for like 20 seconds. After this Genshin ad that's playing. I need to put a thing that puts all of my ads on YouTube and Twitch on the exact same like track, right? And then run my ad on both at the same time. So that when the ads come, I can take a literal ad break, take 20 seconds to drink water and relax and like come back to this. Anyway. So, let's talk about A16. Let's talk about A16Z. Let's talk about investment banking. For venture capital for like a quick second. So there's a company called A16Z is the best way to think about them. I call them A16Z, but their actual name is Andreessen Horowitz. They're a software venture capital startup funding company. There's a lot of these around, but A16Z is the one making the most moves right now, and I've seen them talking to the most people. Like a lot of the most people. In fact, I've seen A16Z funding almost everybody that is coming up. Everybody that's around, everybody that's like almost every platform we're going to talk about today has got A16 money somehow, somewhere, somehow, through some mechanism. Andreessen Horowitz is a company that is incredibly rich, is funding a lot of these companies and giving them a bucket load of money through either directly through Andreessen Horowitz itself or through their subsidiaries or through other investment fund, other startup funds that take money from Andreessen Horowitz. Their whole thing, the whole thing of venture capital and the whole thing of like all this venture capital investment stuff is to give as much money as is humanly possible to as many companies as possible, because if one of them makes it, it makes all the money back. That's literally always true. Imagine if you paid for paid 100 Facebooks, $1 million. So you spend $100 million on 100 Facebooks. Well, one of them is going to be Facebook, like the Facebook that we know and love, we know and hate, and like be this infinitely rich and powerful company. And so it would make back all $100 million that you spent almost immediately and then give you a profit. That's why these companies spend so much money, and that's why they have so much money to burn, because they'll have they're invested in all these major companies that they helped basically kickstart by giving them a lot of money on this bet that I just explained to you. Okay. I'm bringing all that stuff to just be like, the money that they're getting is coming from a group of people that is looking for a monopoly. Okay? The money that almost everybody in the industry is getting are coming from people who are looking for these industries, for these companies to become monopolies. So, like, keep that on the mental. Anyway, let's get back to what we're talking about. So, Storygrounds is not a very good experience. In fact, after using Storygrounds, I had this issue of the fact that like everybody in the industry is looking for high levels of engagement and looking for some way to like transform comics, needlessly so, in fact. They want comics to become more than what they are, as if comics are not good enough as what they are. Whether they mean that or they think that is irrelevant, because the actions kind of are that, right? And so I started to kind of go looking for other stuff, see what else was around in the community, and I found StoryCo. We'll come back to them. I also found this other platform, Shortbread. I've actually talked about these people before. If you watch every stream, you probably remember there was a stream I talked to you guys about AI-generated comics. I talked about an AI-generated comic platform called Shortbread.ai. Shortbread.ai existed previously as an app called Kurukuru.xyz, which was, there it is. This is their thing. Kurukuru.xyz, eventually becoming Shortbread.ai, which was supposed to essentially help be like a storyboarding tool, right? It's supposed to be a storyboarding tool for comics, and then they became an AI-generated comics tool. I spoke to Evan who works there, and is one of the people that they're paying $150,000 or whatever. And after speaking to all these people, I realized that they have no fucking clue what they were doing. Shortbread.ai did not work. The AI comic generation tool did not work. It was poor. It fucking sucked, right? And it was a bad thing to put in the industry, I personally believe. Well, after doing the AI-generated comic stint, they have now transitioned into bite-sized comics, shortbreadapp.com. Become a creator. They still have the Shortbread.ai tool. This is it right here. They call it Shortbread Studio now. Their AI comic generation tool that absolutely fucking sucks, barely works, and looks like this. Also, in the video, okay. Can I just? I'm gonna take a fucking second. I need a fucking second. One second. I need a second to deal with something here. Hold on, wait. Let me just find out where this video is from. This video is playing from. Okay. I'm opening the whole video because I want to say something. If you are doing marketing, and this is advice to all the people who are going to be working in marketing for the next year or whatever. If you're a marketer and you're making a video for your product, please avoid making your product look like shit. Please. Even if I don't like your product, I don't want you to get fired. And you know why I'm saying that? Halfway through their showcase of this stupid fucking app, two things happen. One, they show her looking incredibly, like, literally looking brain dead. And two, they show her with her head twisted all the way back. Sorry, I need a fucking second, because I'm so pissed. Okay, Feng Zhao Peng, who's the CEO of fucking Shortbread, and Evan, and there's a third girl, and there's like, I think other people now. I don't even give a fuck that your thing is shit. I don't care. make a better video. Make a better video. Like, do not be this incompetent. Like, I know you are an AI startup, but do not be this incompetent. If you are going to fucking lean this hard into your dog shit product, do not be this incompetent. You cannot do this to yourself, let alone me doing it to you. You cannot do this. This is your own video. You spent time on this. And why does it look like porn? Come the fuck on. Do you have self-respect left? Is anything left in your hollow corpses that you like about the thing that you've sat down and worked on? Like, do you feel anything about it anymore? I'm legitimately angry because I didn't actually watch this video until just now. I didn't watch the video until just now. I avoided watching this video because I already used the app. So I was like, oh, I just talk about the app, blah, blah. But I saw it, I was like, let me just give it a quick look. And then I saw that. Are you incompetent? Because maybe you don't think you are, but you're acting incompetent. Like, how is it that I understand, like, all the artificial intelligence and there's no actual intelligence flowing through your brains. Like, what's going on? What's going on? Make it make sense. I need like 20 seconds. I just pissed myself off. I need like 20 seconds. Anyway. So fucking stupid. Actually useless. Anyway, so they still have their stupid, shitty AI-generated comic tool thing. But like with everybody right now, they've all transitioned into trying to become platforms. Again, one of the things that's really happening here, and I'm going to bring this up again, is that they're looking for engagement. You see, as a really interesting thing I've been noticing about AI comics over the last last year, sorry. AI comics don't make money. AI stuff doesn't make money in general. AI largely is a money loser, and to the point where even Microsoft is backing out because of the legal complications and also the fact that they spent like so much money on servers that if they needed to get their money back, they would need to make it's actually like $60 billion a year every year for the next 10 years if they had to operate AI at the scale that they're operating it right now. Something stupid like that. How easy would it be to generate explicit content on here? I don't know. I have no idea. But it looks easy. They made it look super easy. Oh yeah, everyone's saying because AI is not worth it because AI is just NFTs. Look, do you guys remember January? Everyone who's been watching me for a long enough time remembers January of this year. I said AIs are NFTs. I said it. I've said it before. I'll say it again. AIs are just NFTs, but goofy. And like I stay right. I stay winning, frankly. How easy to generate awful explicit content anywhere? Depending on the place, pretty easy. Pretty fucking easy. Like really fucking easy sometimes. Anyway. Let's like refocus. So all these different platforms, all the different places are becoming platforms because if you didn't know this, investors are looking for a thing with high levels of engagement because they're looking for a place where content can be transformed, right? Either transformed from writing into the comic or comic into a movie that they can use to essentially create an IP funnel. Think of this as the 50 Shades of Grey funnel. Let's call it the FSOV, the FSOF, the 50 Shades of funnel. You want a novel that keeps people entertained enough to buy the. You want a web novel that keeps people entertained enough to buy the book, keeps people entertained enough to buy into the movie, that even keeps people entertained enough that even keeps people entertained enough to buy into the visual novel game. Yes, there is a 50 Shades of Grey visual novel game. Anyway, I know this because I've read all of 50 Shades. I have all the books. It's a whole thing. Don't worry about it. It's a whole thing involving Twilight. I'll explain to you on one of the more relaxed streams. Anyway, So when it comes to all of these content routes that we're seeing coming up, we're seeing that they're all becoming platforms because they're all looking for engagement. They're all looking for engagement because investors are looking for a place with high engagement that they can use to justify making what they perceive to be incredibly safe plays on media. They want to make incredibly safe plays on media right now because we're in a recession. And movies aren't making as much money as they want to, and they're looking for new IP to make new money. But new money needs risky bets. But what if you could basically mitigate or remove risk through a series of like audience earning. Sorry, I don't know what's happening to me today. Audience earning, right? You make the novel, you get the audience. You make the comic, you get more audience. You make the one episode animatic on YouTube, you get more audience. You put out a movie, you get all the audience comes and a new audience comes and you make all your money back, right? You see the idea? That's the idea. That's why everyone's trying to make these. And so when you see like AI platforms like Dashtune and now Shortbread app show up, it's because they're trying to get that engagement, because then they can go to investors and be like, look at this engagement that we got. Look at this engagement that we got. Just give us money because we got this engagement. And then they get to keep their shitty company alive. Let's see. They just treat the original content as basically a focus group, not as art in and of itself. If a comic does well, it means the focus group liked it, so they move on to the real money maker. Pretty much, yeah. They're literally treating comic platforms as focus groups right now. They're all trying to do that to some extent. Whether on purpose or not, whether consciously or not, it's happening. And so, like, when it comes to Shortbread app, a platform that literally started existing not very long ago, right? We're seeing what we're experiencing here as in real time is kind of like this kind of erosion of what a platform's purpose is used to be. It used to be a platform was a place to go that consolidated an audience for you. Now a platform is a focus group because investors are looking for engagement, high engagement, because platforms are looking for lots of money. An easy way to get lots of money is by being in high engagement software. And how do you make sure that you can get lots of money and also get high engagement? Well, and this brings us back to the whiteboard, to the Pirate Software board. You act as a general consumer piece of software. You're a general consumer piece of software. You don't compete in this power consumer thing because it's harder to make money up here. It's easier to make money down here because this is where most people are. Everyone see how I just took us in a nice little circle. A nice little circle. Hey, C, welcome to the chat. Is that platform AI? Yes, it is, darling. It is AI. We just did like a whole kind of roundabout class thing. So you missed that. But it's not too difficult. We're just talking about some of the new platforms that exist. I'm explaining what's wrong and what's right with them, why they're making certain moves, what money behind them is making them make certain moves, and then where we're going to go from there. Okay? Hope that clarifies things and keeps you up to date. Yeah, this is also why, if you're wondering why a lot of published content has kind of sucked lately, this is why. Just focus group stuff. It's literally comic by committee now. It's almost ridiculous. How logistically feasible is this even? So since majority of webcomic artists hate generative AI, and so do people who are fans of the webcomic artists' work. Well, easy. They don't give a shit. They're hoping that they can wear you down. Look, I've spoken to some of these people, and sometimes they say things to me like, the audience needs to come to heel. The creators need to come to heel. The dog can't be getting led by its own tail. They say shit like that to you. And so you mentally realize that like, they believe that they add so much value that you cannot complain. They just think that. That is a thing that they believe. I don't know how else to really talk about that. Cool. I'm not going to say who said that to me because I kind of need them as a contact for a few more months, but yeah. That's just how they talk about people sometimes. Okay, so the problem is the people who vocally hate AI online are probably the vocal minority. I think majority of people don't care. That's not true, actually, see? That's just not true. That's not how people work. While you're right, most people don't wake up in the morning and like vocally spend their time hating AI. They do hate AI. They have a general disdain for content that does not come from another person. It's just the way art has always worked. It's the way a lot of things have always worked, really. We generally do not like things getting automated and removing humans from the equation. It's been a very big uphill battle to remove humans from a lot of jobs, because once humans are removed from a job, audiences and people stop engaging with that job. And it used to be before that you could get away with it because there was a certain level of information obfuscation. You know, growing up, people started using digital art software, and so people started buying as many art supplies, right? And you knew it was a problem. You knew people started noticing, and people didn't really like a lot of stuff made with digital art because it didn't have the paint and didn't have the feel. But also, they didn't have access to the same amount of information. So when this replacement was happening, by the time the replacement fully went through, most people had only just realized it was starting because the internet and information transmission at the time was really slow. And you can go back to when we started replacing letterers with typography software. You can go back to when we started making engraving software. You can go all the way fucking back to when we made the steam engine. Because the information was slow in its spread, humans reacted slowly. And also, it took a long time before these things actually took foothold. But like, because information moves incredibly quickly, humans are very adept at pattern recognition, and also the line of what is AI and what is not AI for a person is very different. You're going to find that more often than not, people don't like it. The question really is, where is the line for them? And also, where does the line matter, where does the line not matter? Like, here's a great example. I want to talk about this here, since we're here. Just give me a quick second. I'm going to show you guys one of my favorite YouTube channels. I think it's something I should be really honest with myself about. I'm going to show you guys one of my favorite YouTube channels. It is one of the things I watch the most. I say most. I watch a lot. Is an AI-generated, it's an AI YouTube channel. This is Glorb. I feel like a lot of people have seen Glorb. Truly a sad thing in life I live. Glorb is a fake music video channel. It's a fake SpongeBob music video channel that uses AI-generated voices of Mr. Krabs and SpongeBob to make rap songs. They still have to do a lot of production work, and they still have to do a lot of lyrics writing and organizing and beats and stuff. They do a lot of handmade work, but the voices are AI generated. And mentally for me, that message got deleted instantly, but it made it into Axel chat. Truly a sad day. Sorry, I'm just gonna refresh the thing. Anyway, and I think like the thing is, because for me, where the AI stops mattering is how much when a majority of the work is done by human input. Because humans had to produce and set up and do all the work for the audio in there, and like they still have to write the lyrics, and even with the AI generated stuff, it's a very manual process anyway. I kind of don't care, because I think it's quite cute that somebody wanted to do this in this way, and I understand all the problems with it. I'm not sitting here saying it's like morally good or whatever, but like this is why I like it. There's a lot of human effort in there, even though there's still the AI-generated voice thing going on. And I just think that because that's what everyone has like a line for. Everyone has a line where they're like, I'm not okay with this because it steals from voice actors. I'm not okay with this because it steals from artists. I'm not okay with this because it looks like shit. Everyone has a line. The question really is where that line is. And often the line is, in my experience, is the thing that is made from the machine good? And the thing with AI is 99% of the time the answer is no. The thing is shit. In fact, almost 100% of the time, no, the thing is shit. Humans have to spend a lot of time recontextualizing it to make it feel or seem good. So we know people don't like this stuff. Also, all the random consumers who aren't online, social media, but still consume that kind of content. I don't know what world you live in where there are random consumers who are not online. Dude, I've been into the middle of the bush in like Western Africa. People have TikTok. There, like right there and then. Like, what are you talking about? like there's very few people in the world left who aren't online, unfortunately. And like, secondly, people have really good pattern recognition. They look for other humans. Humans look for humans. Like, that's what they do. It's what we implicitly have always done. Humans look for more humans, and they look for human-generated content. It has been a thing that has been true from the beginning of social media. Humans do not look for corporations. Humans do not look for anything else. They often will spend and work really hard to look for humans and other animals. And that's it. This is not a complicated thing to figure out. And if you believe that there are so many people who don't care about social media, that is a thing you're allowed to believe. But if they're all engaging with it, they care about it. That's it. Doesn't matter if they post opinions or not. They give a shit. They care about it. And feels like a pointless line that we're going down. What is your point? Your point is, how can we know? Well, like, we could do a study. There are studies right now into how people react to AI-generated content and how often they can tell. And more often than not, people can tell and people don't like it. But if that's not good enough for you, then I don't know. You could have found out yourself. So I'm trying to understand what your point is here. Anyway, humans have always been like drawn to other people and other animals and other creatures on the internet. It's a big thing. In fact, back when you would start a YouTube channel before, YouTube would tell you when you went to their events, name your channel after like a person. Makes it super easy for people to like you and want to talk to you and engage with you. So that is a thing that we've been doing for a long ass time. And also, if you're like people don't care, like people do care. It's why they're not using the AI tools. Why the AI tools don't make money. Like they're not just not making money because it's cute. They're not making money because people aren't spending money because people don't like them. I don't understand where this is losing you. Anyway, sorry, I'm kind of done with that line of thinking now. Anyway, the thing I'm just bringing up with the AI stuff is like the line is somewhere, and so the whole point or purpose of platforms like this is to essentially figure out where the line is for people. Right? Figure out how much of the human they can cut out of the situation. And then go to the investor and say, look, we have this really high engagement content that has as few people as possible, which means the costs are as low as possible. Give us money. That's what they're doing. That's what all these people are doing. It's kind of ghoulish. Sorry, we went off on that little tangent there. Let me just see the last comment. I think AI won't ever thrive in the upper two levels of your pyramid, but it can make it in the lower level general audiences. I think it could make it in lower level general audiences, but the thing is, right now, from what we're seeing, it's not. It's supplementing it sometimes. Like people are using it as like voice work, when they don't want to talk. But even then, people don't always like the way it sounds. So often they use the additional tool that still requires the human to make it sound correct. People are sometimes using it for AI, for image generation, but people don't seem to like those images often, unless there's like a whole bunch of human-generated information around it. Like, those TikToks are like, where you sleeping best? And then it's like music and images, something like that. Like that requires the human context and the person to write that down and put that all out there, and the empathy that you get from talking to other people. Like that's what people are engaging with. They're not engaging with the post. And when you think about it like that, it looks like it's not making any market penetration really. It's just kind of sitting on the edge of the market, like a fancy little tool, like NFTs were. It's like bringing. You ever as a kid get a pop gun? You guys ever get a pop gun as a kid? The little guns that shoot loud noise maker, like bullets. They don't really do anything. They just put out a lot of smoke and they make a loud noise. You ever notice how when you get a pop gun, you and your friends use it for like 2 hours. You load it. You buy a ton of bullets. You play with it for like 2 hours. You never touch that pop gun ever again. Ever again in your life. That day is the last day you play with a pop gun. Now AI is the pop gun. Like sometimes you pull it out and you hang out with the buddies and you shoot a few shots, but really 90% of the time it's in a box. And that's just what a lot of technology does. It's not unique to AI. A lot of technology goes into the hole. It goes into the box and we all forget about it. Anyway, speaking of AI and platforms and engagement, I want to talk about the third platform on the list for today. Let's talk about Storyco. I wanted to get to this. There's people on the thumbnail, so I'm glad that we're here. But Storyco's whole deal is pretty simple. And how do I put it? Storyco's whole deal is, remember how I said that a lot of these platforms are looking for ways to reinvent comics, either on the platform or off the platform. Good night, bud. Either on the platform or off the platform. They're looking for ways to basically take the comics that are currently in existence, turn them into movies and TV shows, or turn them into other different types of comics that they believe are higher engagement kinds of content, right? Storyco does is that. They want to engage in the transformation of comics to some extent. And I have good opinions of them because I've spoken to the people who run it. But I also this is where I need you guys to be a little bit locked in because I'm going to ask you some questions, some real genuine questions. Because I feel I'm also very biased because they're very nice people. They were very forthcoming with information. And so what happens is I can see myself being very blinded by the fact that I'm talking to people who, for once in this industry, don't talk to me like ghouls. I start to think that maybe they're nice people when secretly they might just be like, axe murderers. They're not axe murderers, but you get the point. Before I go on, Sim says what? What does Sim just? Oh God! Oh my God! The chat just reset for me. Oh, there. A lot of people assumed that AI was going to be so great, but it doesn't actually live up to the hype. They up to the hype. They tried to make it. They tried to make it have. It gets old and boring and gets put away after it loses its value. It's insane to me that I can still see when somebody ChatGPT generates an article. Like, it's crazy. I used ChatGPT text generation for a bit for writing stuff for work, and I used it for like a week to help me with writing. And I shit you not, it made me slower. I really tried as well. I really did try. I tried to engage it. It made me slower. It made me worse. And I found myself at the end of that week completing tasks over a longer period of time. It actually became much faster for me to just get good. Like, it's crazy. Yeah, people can grasp context. Mass-produced art isn't going to demand the same prices or make the same profit as bespoke handmade art. Just like literally every other industry. Yeah, pretty much. People realize something is mass-produced. People start to notice the trends or feelings of it. Also, hey, Sammy. They start to notice like what makes it that, and then they just kind of disengage. They do, because they realize it's cheap. Like, why do you want a cheap garbage product when you could have a nice, expensive thing that is nice and you can guarantee a quality level and all these things? Humans aren't like useless like that. I don't know. Also, again, this stuff is usually not very good. If it was good, I think people would have a different opinion. But it almost never is good. Anyway, so this is Storyco. Storyco is a platform. Remember how Storygrounds, when we talked about them, Storygrounds' whole thing is they have quests. Talk about Shortbread AI, they have AI. These guys have some kind of combination of the two and a whole bunch of other features. And we're going to talk through a few of them, and I want you guys to really listen to this. Storyco's whole thing is they want to be a place where comics show up and become more than what they usually are. And to really contextualize this, I'm going to tell you guys that if you get some time, go read this comic. This is a comic. Go read this. Whenever you get some time, it's called 17776, also known as What Football Will Look Like in the Future. Because what this comic does is very similar to what Storyco is trying to do, but in a way that is mass producible. Yeah, my plant coverage is like getting derailed. Anyway, in a way that is mass producible. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Let's look through Boundless. In fact, to this end, I hope, is the audio on? Oh, it should be. So, you've probably noticed the motion. There's a lot of motion you're going to be seeing. Let's go read Boundless Chapter 1. I'm going to press play. There is audio in this. So if you remember audio comics, there's going to be some audio in this, there's going to be some motion in this. We're going to see a lot of interesting things, and then we're going to talk a little bit about it.
Everybody will talk about it forever.
I don't know. I don't feel like it.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know either.
Clay, you just said it was fantastic. Why did you change your mind with Klaus? Decide on your own.
Did someone say? Party?
Oh, Martin, leave us.
So, when would be?
I said tomorrow night. Liam, can you help me get up? Liam, are you listening? What are you looking at?
Nothing.
Thank you, Liam. You are coming to the party, aren't you?
Anyway, okay, so there's stuff to talk about. We'll get back to that. Let's start from the beginning. Okay. I showed you all that because I wanted to kind of show you what it was. Two things. One, whoever said the audio, I don't like the audio is kind of part of the package deal, but it's not a necessity. Two, this is not the flagship. So I want to now show you guys the flagship content. And I know you guys have your feelings on this, and you're going to have your feelings, and that's great. I just want you guys to see everything I've seen, and then we're going to talk about it. So there's a flagship story on the platform. It's called The Disco Ball, if I can find it, because the images are taking a little while to load. Liam is so real. Yeah, Liam is so real. Bro has zero hoes, and he knows that about himself. Anyway, where the fuck is it? Why is this not loading suddenly? The thing is, there's like a 20% chance that the boys over at Storyco are watching this. 20 to like 40% chance, because they might have seen the thumbnail on Twitter, and like I would feel so bad if they open right now when I'm talking about Storyco, and then they watch me look at the thumbnails and go, wow, the thumbnails aren't loading. Damn. I'm not downloading porn. I'm downloading Linux distros. Like, actually, I am downloading Arch Linux. Just let me be a goddamn nerd in peace. Don't make shit up about me. Let me be a dumb nerd in peace, goddammit. It's not letting me open it. The flagship comic is like so important to show you guys because it's got Stephanie Beatriz in it. It's got Rosa from Brooklyn Nine-Nine in it. Sorry, I'm watching the show a lot. It's got Stephanie Beatriz from Brooklyn Nine-Nine in it, and I want to just show you like what they think the end game is. But anyway, Storyco's whole deal is being a webcomic platform where the comic isn't the only thing that is developed at the same time. The idea is very simple. You are on Storyco. You're a creator. You take your comic to Storyco. You upload it. You break it into individual pieces, individual panels with the script and everything, and either you make it directly for Storyco or you upload it just to Storyco from your thing, and then you use Storyco to add additional visual elements, music, 3D a 3D asset library a 3D asset thing that they're working on. And I'm not downloading research. Guys, okay, we can do a lot of things. You can make fun of me a lot of ways. Do not spread the conspiracy that I am downloading porn. Like, don't do that. You can do a lot. You can make fun of me a lot of ways, but not that way. That is a boundary I am putting up now. Anyway, the whole point of this platform, the way they kind of are selling it to creators, is they're saying, hey, upload your stuff here, right? Upload your stuff here, adapt it to this unique medium, and that way you not only get to a complete comic that people can read, right? You get a comic that you can download as a video and you can upload on YouTube. You get a comic that you can use, you get a video that you can market with, and you get to create with your audience. Which, remember that thing I said about engagement? Well, we're back there. So Storyco's big feature, other than their internal tools, which I'm happy to talk about those tools in a second. But other than their internal tools, Storyco's big feature is this thing called co-create. The idea that basically the creator of a comic, like the creator of Devil May Care, will put out somebody to do a performance, put out an open casting call to their audience, have their audiences engage with the comic by making audio dubs, like reading the lines and putting themselves up as voice actors, and like and you guys remember what I said earlier about engagement? What that shows? It shows that the audience is so locked in that you can further develop the IP and use that for other things. That's what this is for. The co-creates works simultaneously as audience engagement, make your audience feel like they're part of the creation process, and audience engagement, make investors see that you can milk more money out of these people. And I'm wording it really crass. Nobody said it like that to me, but that's how I've read it. And in fact, here's an example. The Devil May Care person put down somebody will do the voice of the character called the father in the comic, and then somebody submitted a casting call.
Michael Masukawa, reading for the part of the father. Take one. I'll do it. No, I won't. Why am I so indecisive today? On my way. You left this on the bench, Sunshine. I'd be lying.
Okay, when he said Sunshine, it made my skin crawl a little bit. It's not his fault. Anyway, it's not his fault. It was entirely me. It's my own problems. But what I'm getting at here, what we're seeing here essentially is like it's a combination of like it's not free labor from fans, not the same way. It's not make fans work for me. It's a little bit less malicious. In fact, I would say it's very much less malicious, right? But I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. Inky says, just turn it into a storyboard. Comics are not just individual panels. Their pacing relies on spatial relations to each other. I know you're right, Ink. Inky then goes, they're trying to force the kinds of engagement a super successful comic generates, fan artwork and comic dubs, and pretending it's the same indicators of success even though it's forced. You know what, Ink? That's a really good point. I think that's what's happening. I think to some extent that is happening. Because like, I didn't even think about it like that, but it is kind of trying to force a high level of engagement out of something with no real like understanding of how audiences people gain that engagement themselves. Tate also then says this seems like it has the same problem as the other platform, Storygrounds, but times 10 because it actually requires the audience to put in work, unlike the other one. Yeah, I agree. I did actually bring this up to them. I talked to them about a lot of things. I talked to them about this engagement that the audience needs to provide in, and they were like, they think people like being engaged because some of the content that they've been working with have managed to generate like lots of engagement from their audiences, and also there's money on the line. All of these roles, it's not free work. All these roles pay. So you probably didn't notice this, but this pays $60. This pays $120. And I'm going to actually zoom in so you guys can see this. Look, this pays $60. This pays $60. One of these pays like $300 or something. Yeah, this pays $125. And I said this to them in the call, this is kind of bringing the gig economy to comics. Like more than it already exists in comics. And there's a lot I don't like about that. It's like buying wish lists on Steam and pretending they're customers. Ink is right. Ink is actually so right. Ink is so right. It's like the conversion of play to earn, read to get voice acting. Whoa. It's not just voice acting. There's also modeling, 3D background building, and 3D modeling and background building, and like additional writing assistance. I think for like certain kinds of backstories for tangential characters, ideas that you can buy if you want. What you call not just performance, visual, additional art, stuff like that, and music is also in there. Now, can I be honest with you? I like the idea of a platform where I get to pay my audience to make stuff that my audience puts in my comic. I also understand why you don't like it. And I don't think you guys are crazy. I think you guys are making a lot of really good points. I just want to be clear where I stand on some of this. Because I think mentally, I'm looking at it very differently. And that's okay. I'm just trying to learn from you guys here. And I'm seeing all the problems, all the pitfalls you're pointing out. You're so right. One of the things about StoryCo as well, other than this co-create function, is I just want to see if I can show you. Oh, wait, it's loading now. Okay, great. It's loading. Let me show you. So this is their flagship comic. It's drawn, and I don't know who drew it. I don't know who the main artist was. The main artist is probably somewhere on the side here or somewhere over here. Oh, look, see, it's Rosa. Guys, look, it's Rosa. It's Rosa. Look, it's Rosa. It's Rosa. She's on the screen. It's Rosa. Can you tell them I love Rosa? Who is paying the audience? Oh, so, Tate, that's a great question. Who is paying the audience on this platform? StoryCo is. And the creators at the same time, to some extent. Different amounts, different extents, different investment amounts. StoryCo wants to be able to do that for an extended period of time. If not forever, is what they said. Interesting. But yeah, the money's being fronted by them. There's other people in this cast list. I don't really care about them. They're all cringe. They're all cringe and uninteresting. Really, the only person here is Rosa. I only care about Rosa. Rosa's here. Anyway, Okay, guys, are you cool with doing another one of these audio tours of the comic? Let's look at what this is their flagship comic. Not like the best comic, but the culmination of all the features in one place. So don't think this is what it looks like when somebody's using all their features that they're planning to make or have made in one place. Okay? Just to make that clear. Okay, crisistextline.com.org. I am. I have so many feelings about this. And no, it hasn't made a single sound.
Okay, so,
Oh, there.
I just got back from work.
There's just a random
I don't know
human.
where to start because no matter where I start, you're already behind. And I want to catch you up, but in order to catch you up, I have to talk about something. Or more specifically, think about something my therapist has told me not to think about.
Okay, so here's the thing. This is part of the things that they think that they could implement into into their reading experience. So it is not. Most of the comic isn't this. I should actually skip past this bit because this is like the weakest part of this whole thing, and you'll see that's kind of saying something. Anyway, let's go from here.
Chapter 1.
I'm floating alone at the end of my tether, having just completed a multi-hour EVA, extravehicular activity, whose sole purpose was to prepare for another EVA that's just several hours away. Between now and then, as the current mission commander, I'll have a myriad of things to do, and normally with the actual work at hand behind me, that's what I'd be thinking about. What's on the list? What balls have been dropped? What problems and surprises await? How will I navigate the never-ending next? But as I allow my suit to twist away from the station and float there weightless, for a brief moment, the only
This is
thing
just
left
3D animation. Just the camera moving in 3D space. Don't be such a hater, Inky. It's like watching a point-and-click game from the 90s.
for
Jesus.
thoughts of next.
Listen, Rosa is talking. How could you guys be so rude to Rosa?
It's like being
Rosa
inside
is
of a
talking.
disco ball. It's no up, no down.
Oh, they said disco ball. Guys, they said the title. They said the title. Roll credits.
Showered
Roll
in
credits.
from
Okay, cool.
every
I'm
other
done being
place,
I'm done being a
every
cringy Twitch streamer.
time, every other possibility. All of it converging here.
Fully a hater.
Somehow both random and the center of it all. This is what it's like to be
Her name is Stephanie Beatriz.
surrounded by the of the infinite.
Okay, so I'm gonna skip to another section of the comic. I just want you to see that how it all kind of supposed to come together.
Every mission has safeguards for the mental health of the crew, from rigorous psych evals pre-launch to
Oh.
crew check-ins with the mission.
Interesting thing to show you. Look on the side. You guys are gonna see these little red and like green marks. That's all the stuff people submitted. So every time something is submitted by a co-creator, that was paid or not, it all goes in here. And so like it's all considered to be, it's all credited basically automatically. I know that's not the biggest deal, but I do want to just be upfront and be like, in terms of just the really small minor things, they're not like fucking them up. So I find it hard to be mad at them, even though I don't like some of the things that they're doing here. Yeah, distraction buttons.
As I begin to gear up for my second EVA of the day, Marcus swings in, grinning.
Oh, this.
Apologize or congratulate you.
I have no idea what he's talking about. But before Marcus can respond, I hear Az making the discovery in a neighboring module. I look at Marcus. What's he talking about?
I was doing a stream of your EVA this morning, caught your commentary at the end, and
He smiles.
you got traction.
Az rockets in, holding out his phone.
It's comments and likes.
I don't even understand. Like, nobody is on the screen. Anyway. This is a kinetic novel. Yes. It's a lot of things. Oh, yeah, and at the end of it, we get this guy again, who I don't know his name. Okay. So, advertise the visual novel people. Advertise this to animatic artists. Yeah, look, the individual styles that we've seen on display are not the focus. Let's focus on what the features were. Do you, and I mean this genuinely, this is a genuine question to everyone in the chat. You just saw a few of the features that they think are part of the flagship things they're going to be releasing from a reader perspective. What do you think? Like, you can write as much as you want. I just want to understand what you think, because I don't like this comic, if we can call it that. But I also wonder if there is room for this kind of pseudo-animatic stuff. I love animatics. Should I have a degree in animation? Their proposed use for it is just so backwards. So I should say, when I talked to them about why they wanted this direction, they said they talk to me a lot about making it easier for people to basically make basically develop their comic IP in a different direction. But I also suspect, and this is a personal suspicion, that it's also easier for movie people to go from their movies backwards to this than it is to go straight to comics, because this still has almost all the same amount of time a movie needs in making something. Not interested in gimmicks. I think this is fine as a multimedia project. It's very interesting and engaging, but it feels weird putting this in the comic scene. I agree. I think I know multimedia comics exist because 17776 exists. Like, this is a multimedia comic. This is a comic that has video and text and like lots of different elements coming together to make one thing, right? 17776 is, in my opinion, the version of this that would have been cool. But like, it doesn't feel like I just got a machine to make this. It doesn't feel like that. Especially with the 3D. I don't know what the point of the 3D is. Prescience. The only way I see this really working is in short term is the ironic curse zoomer angle. Like, wait, hold on, wait. Oh! Oh, you mean like zoomers making really awful things because it looks cursed as hell. Okay, cool. Yeah, okay. Movie people would just take the IP and change it from the ground up. I don't think they would find this useful in any ways at all. The people who run StoryCo have a background in data analysis and television. Like, they worked in television, like, properly. They worked on a lot of projects. They worked with Tyler the Creator on his TV show. So if you ever watched that, Tyler the Creator is well, what was it called again? I forget. Ephemeris. I am not a fan. I'm curious how people will use it. I think if somebody makes a purpose-driven content for it, it would be very fun, because there's a lot of tools here. But I agree with you. This doesn't fit in the comic scene like that. It's like its own type of content. Separate, kind of. It's weird. Like, it's a whole different thing. Like, I could see myself making something for that kind of platform. But I couldn't see myself putting the work into taking my comic and putting it on there as work. That's a lot of work. Like, that would exhaust me. I don't know. I talked to them about a lot of things when I spoke to them. Let's kind of go back and pick up on this information. I spoke to them about the co-creates. Remember how I showed you that the co-creates cost money? People get paid. I said it's bringing the gig economy to fan engagement, but worse, because what's going to happen in gig economies like this is prices will slowly like get driven downwards. Because you'll be like, oh, well, it's just my fans, blah, blah, blah. And suddenly you're paying only $30 or $40. Or professional people will just kind of like dominate the space. They're hoping that social pressure is what will fix those problems. You know, like the social embarrassment of being caught over submitting your name and people not hiring you because of that. Or the social embarrassment of paying too little and people criticizing you for that. I just don't think those are worth relying on. Comics are a unique medium. And, like, it's hard for me to say this isn't a comic, but at the same time, it's hard for me to say that it is. There are people who would love making content for this, for sure. And they have export to video. And, like, if you're someone who wants to make a comic or a story, but you want to make a story that's more than a comic, but I say more than a comic, has more motion than a comic, but less motion than a movie, that's like animatics, there's people for that. People do that all the time. I wonder how much place this has. What else? Oh, yeah. Guys, can I just say they have one really cool thing. They have a really cool script tool. They showed it to me on the back end. I don't have it here. I forgot to ask for screenshots in an email. But they have a really cool script tool. Basically, they have a system through which the panels are on one side and your script is on one side. And you can live edit the script. And so if somebody was drawing the comic and you were doing the work, you can live edit the script and then they can live draw and you can both see the outcomes of your work while doing different parts of the work. Which is interesting. Most people can basically work on one project at once. I really would love to make like an extension for Clip Studio that does that personally. You know, that allows my script to basically sit in there. So my script writer, or if I'm the script writer, can do edits and stuff, and it can all be linked to individual panels, along with all the sound effects and stuff. So that means when they change something, I know exactly what panel it changes in, and I can see how it affects the work going forward really easily. But I don't know, I don't know if that's an interesting use case to you. I think if you take a look at something like Homestuck, but that also bridges the gap. It does have base level of a comic. This expands more than that and removes the comic part of it. Fair enough. People already complain canvas updates are too short. I can't imagine how they complain about this. Ephemera is bringing the true upsetty at whatever comments they've been getting. Also, F, why didn't you tell me that you were doing a Kickstarter? I didn't see it until like it was over. I was so pissed off. I need you to tell me what you're doing. I think you're bringing it back. Please tell me when that comes back so I can get a book. I wanted to get the book. Like Jesus, I just realized I forgot to bring that up. Anyway. Still waiting for CSP to allow me to edit the alpha channel of my layers. Okay, you know what? Maybe we're not getting that plug-in. Django says, I don't know about the whole motion media stuff. Feels like it's too much. I'm more interested in the audio aspect, like back in the old Tapas days where you could add background music. Okay, yeah. And Inky says, I think they want to advertise this as a tool for comic creators. They should propose it as a way to make TikToks. Oh, so Inky, yes, they're doing that. A big part of their push is that you can make videos from this. That you upload your stuff and then you can turn it into videos and you can export those videos. And they're going to allow you to export it in like different video formats. And they're working on that feature, I think, sometime soon. That is coming out at some point in the next couple of months. But it is a thing that they're working on actively right now and is on the roadmap and they want to bring out soon. I just want you to know, that is the thing that they're doing. For a scene or two, yeah, but for a whole comic is nuts. I see you. I consider this could be used as part of a workflow to create a comic, but they're including way more features than the comic has. So eventually it turns into something else. I think it does. I think if you use this for more than, as Inky said, if you use it for more than more than like a little social media marketing thing, it just is more work than it's worth. And I just feel like people will not want to engage anymore. Or it just becomes a whole different medium, which means it doesn't even attract the comic audience anymore. I feel like a lot of people like to lump storytelling as just like writing is the same thing as comic making is the same thing as fucking animation, but really it's not. It's not. It's not. Anyway. Even a comic dub isn't a comic. It's really its own medium. Yeah, I agree. I could use using this for YouTube or TikTok, but not as a comic. So basically, one of the stated things that they want to do, you guys think it's worth it, but other than that, One of the things as well that they have, and this is where I'm gonna talk about things I don't like. They have some AI generation tools in the software that you don't have to use, but they do have. And I should say, this is the thing I've noticed about talking to them and Shortbread. It feels like these people have put in AI generation tools because they legitimately think it will be helpful, but the moment they don't think it will be helpful, they'll dump it. They're basically trying everything they can try to provide what they think will get them to their end goal. And if it doesn't work, they just get rid of it. Which is interesting because it means that, like, on one hand, they will they're not like committed to AI. They're not like AI bros. They put an AI tool because they thought it would make money. And I'll talk about what it is in a second. They thought it would make money, it would help you make money, or it would further their goals or whatever. But they didn't put an AI tool because, like, they wanted to fleece the market or just, like, because they're weirdo AI bros, which is interesting. What the AI is talking about, they have AI audio generation. So you can type text in, and they're using a bunch of audio models that they claim are ethically sourced. I believe them because there's only like 4 voices there. Using those models, you can generate audio. They call it text to voice. You can also do text to speech. You can also do what's called speech to speech, where you can speak the lines that you're saying, and then the AI will then speak the lines with your inflection and intonation just in a different person's voice, different AI thing's voice, which at that point just hire a voice actor. But whatever, I can see people wanting that kind of. And then the third thing is AI sound effect generation. These are the things that they've kind of hinted at as things that are possible. Yeah, it's literally TikTok's voice changer, yeah, pretty much. They probably don't know what a comic is, but to use it to its full extent, you'll definitely want motion graphics experts more than comics experts, and that vibe shows through. Yeah, they do not. I will say this, they're not very comic experienced, but they have been very directly spoken to by the audience. So I will not say like they don't know anything, but that these are not comic people. They're very much outsider people. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I don't mean that in a bad way, like I do sometimes say. I mean that in like they just are. Yeah. Their flagship example does a really poor job of selling it, and I wonder if that was because it was created by people that don't know what a comic actually is or how to make one. Well, as I said, they're kind of outsiders, so I think you're kind of hitting the nail on the head, bud. I'm gonna be real with you, and like because they don't have like a community engagement person or some kind of community role, there's no like communication to people in a broader sense, and so people don't always know what their messaging is. Wild for them to make a comic thing and not be comic people. I mean, I think it makes sense if you're a TV person and end up at comics. Like Storyboarder, remember that video I made about Storyboarder, the software? The person who runs that is a TV movie guy. Like a lot of TV movie people are trying to come into comics because they think it's the lower cost version of a TV or a movie, a TV show or a movie where they don't have to fight an executive for budget and they don't have to worry about pleasing some network. And I'm like, just go to YouTube, guys. Just go to YouTube. Or you're afraid that you can't compete with a YouTuber. I don't know. Comics people don't know how to get finance people on board. Finance people do know how to get comics people on board. Someone with both is rare. Yeah. But like it's hard because it requires a full awareness of the industry. It requires knowing how comics are made, and it requires empathy, and that's hard. Most people don't have all three of those. Yeah, I know it's its own thing. I know it's its own thing, but I'm just saying like there's an air in the funding scape of seeing it as a bridge. Yeah, they always be underestimating what we do. I don't know why, to be quite honest. I think they're just jealous because we get a hose and they don't. They have zero hose. I'm just saying. They do not have a... Literature's fun side hustle. Hold on, let me actually Google that. Let me see if it still comes up. Let's go! Oh, God. I love the emoji choice. It's perfect. Poor Hika. Hika comes back. No context. Sees this. Truly a pain. I think they also see it as a lower medium form because of how niche it is. Well, not as much anymore, but yeah. No, it's still really niche. I think they still think it's really niche. It sucks. I still don't know what they thought that means. I don't know what the fuck Webtoon thought that meant either. Also, it was such a waste of money. Their advertising campaigns are always such a waste of money. Ugh. Dude, I want to live in New York. Do you know the reason Guys, should I move to New York? It's not even a joke anymore. I will just move to New York. I will move to New York or New Zealand. These are the two places I will move. I'm so close to moving to New York because I want to be right in the middle of this shit. I want to go to the events. I want to go to fucking New York and California all the time. I want to be at every single webcomic thing that's happening in the United States and in the general English-speaking market. Because it always happens in New York or California or Texas, and that's it. Whatever. I'll make it. Dude, I want to move to New Zealand so bad. I can't tell you why. It's not because of, like, I like the place. It's complicated, but I want to move to New Zealand so bad. New York to see the rats. True and based if Jeff. I would love to meet the rats of New York and thank them for running such a clean and wonderful city. I actually really think New York is super clean. For a city with that many people in that small an area, it's so goddamn clean. The rats, foot-long brown rats, seem like they'd be my best friends. I'd meet Master Splinter, and then he would train me in the ways of the turtle kung fu, turtle ninjutsu. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in a half shell, turtle power. No, heroes in a half shell, turtle power. We're the rats. We prowl at night. We stalk at night. We're the rats. We're the rats. Anyway, so from what I can understand from chat, and like I want a yes or no from everybody. So if you're drawing on your tablet and you've been ignoring me or whatever, please look up. You just saw StoryCorps. You just heard StoryCo. Do you like it? Yes or no? That's all I need from you. Yes or no? You can say reasons if you want, but I just want a yes or no. They didn't have bins the curb. Have you liked anything I've shown you so far? I feel like it's a no from everyone, to be honest. Snowy. I love when people who I call out who are driving or who are like doing something else are like, no. Wait, you're driving? Wait, what? F! Girl, don't do this to me. First, you don't send me the Kickstarter link, and then you start fucking driving in the middle of... I mean, you've been driving. What am I saying? Don't crash. Don't die. Inky says some potential in that last one, but not as a comic platform. Hell no. I feel like they're all missing the point of comics. I agree. I feel like, and this kind of brings me back to the thing I brought up earlier, and I'm sorry for being super high concept. I know I really appreciate you guys for being super patient with me as I talk about stuff the way I understand them. But like, this brings me back to this concept I was talking about earlier, right? They're trying to hit this audience, these general consumer audiences. General consumers like things to make sense and fit into a certain box. I even said this to them, and they were like, well, we think the creators will really push the conversion. I don't agree. I don't agree. And like, I think this is a problem. This sector of the market is going to remain a problem until like one of them has a major flop out, and like Webtoon's the only one left or something. That's what I see this going the way of Blip.tv and Maven Video and like almost every other video platform that I've ever been on. I want a good comics platform, not a platform that's comics adjacent. Yeah, I agree with this sentiment. And other people saying things like, I'm worried that Webtoon going public is going to make so many clones that aren't worth it. Yeah, it already is, babe. What sucks is seeing all these platforms is just somehow Webtoon does it better, which would not be possible to fail. Webtoon isn't even very good at what they do. Like, they just do the thing. Like, Webtoon's main thing that they do, that they've always been very good at, I hesitate to say that, is that they just don't do anything. They innovate almost never. They almost never change. And so when they do change, it's the most minute thing. And because it's so minute, it never adds anything. So it's never a problem. And when it does add anything, it's like interesting. Because it's like everyone in the industry been talking about doing this. Like they added that new feed. Namikomi has a feed. Every platform wants to have a goddamn social feed. So Webtoon doing it is later than everyone. But they just did it because Namikomi had one. Let me see. This company's got a lot of faith people to convert. I agree. Magic Fire says, I see it as a tool. I don't like or dislike it. I see it as a tool, a young developing tool, but definitely not for comics. They need to pivot market. Webtoon isn't even trying, just working while these platforms don't innovate. While these platforms don't innovate in any meaningful way to attract or retain users. I agree. And the fact that none of them mention something like, I don't know, moderating comments makes it clear they don't know the actual day-to-day managing and advertising of a webcomic. I agree. Webtoon is incredibly bare bones, and yet, because they do so little, they don't look bad. And the thing is, you could have more. But the thing is, if you have more, you got to make sure it's really targeted to the people that bring in the bread. And I think one of the other contentious parts of the industry right now is we're all arguing about who brings in the bread, even though the argument was fucking settled, in my opinion. And I can't talk too much on this one because I haven't fully written down my thoughts. But in my opinion, the reason why we're dealing with this, why we're seeing this influx, why all this is happening as well, is the additional reason is because people are still trying to argue amongst themselves. Investors, really. Investors and CEOs, the people who do the least, are trying to argue amongst themselves as to what constitutes what constitutes a money making IP, a money making thing in this industry. But that argument has been settled because the people everyone has done every type of content. Only one of them is publicly traded right now and making a profit. Everyone else isn't. What does that say? What does that say? You know what I mean? Webtoon has the biggest consumer base, even though it's bare bones. So they have creators who stay for the publicity. And you would think people would be trying to do some conversion on that. Like real conversion on that. Anyway, we'll talk about that in a second. Let's get to that bit. Let's get there. I want to show you guys one last platform. I have not looked into this one at all. So this is going to be interesting for both of us. I think we're all going to learn something here. I want to show you guys a platform you may have seen on Twitter. I know was posted in my Discord. This is, hold on one second. Oh, this is my Twitter. This is Uri.co. You guys have probably seen the tweets. I'm trying to find their actual homepage. Uri, by the way, I shouldn't be able to open your app when you tell me your app is still coming. I can't even find it. There. The app is still coming. This is Uri. The app is still coming. It's not put out yet, but I can access it if I go to the URL directly. I don't think they actually know that I can do that. I don't think they know this is possible. I have an account. I made an account. I managed to secure the username Nen. Let's go. I don't think they know I can do this. I feel like the moment they see this, they're going to shut this down. I haven't left any comments. I haven't paid for Uri Plus yet. Will you guys have a subscription service? One second. Hold on. Let's stick something. It happens. App development can be complicated. I don't even think anyone noticed. And because they said the app is still coming out, so I presume this is an accident. Oh, they have a subscription system. I guess you subscribe to individual creators? Okay. So let's do a quick look over of Uri.co. But before we do that, let's open Blue Sky, because I think it's the best place to really talk to them. Okay. So I'm DMing them right now, so that's why I'm here. Uri is currently on a pre-register for their app on Google Play. You'll be notified when the app launches. The app is not out yet. This was posted July 16th. Okay? But their whole deal is being a creator, a self-publishing platform for webcomics, webtoons, manga, and web novels for independent creators. With independent creators as a first point of contact. Okay? I have to be real with you. This is already on board for something I care about. I think this makes sense. There's stuff I may not agree with, but I think this makes sense. So I decided to make an account and check it out. Let's look at some of the content that's on here, because there's some content on here already. Let's look at Ouroboros Outlaws, because whatever the app is going to be, it's going to literally look like this, but on a phone. So let's not freak out too much. Okay, so I can follow, I can share. Okay, when I share, I get a URL that gets copied to my thing, or I share with my phone features. They've got a feed. So as a creator, there's a feed that you can put your information in. There's a synopsis, cool. The creator information. So this creator is called Here Lies the Misgraves. This is their Twitter. This is their Busky. This is their series. Interesting. Okay. All in one place. Episodes. Let's go and read an episode. Swipe right to read. So this is a page comic. I don't know why it's letting me scroll, but I assume it's just because they want me to be able to access comments. It would be great if comments was like an overlay over here rather than me having to scroll down, but whatever. Well, the thing is, Django, I think the reason this is a mobile UI only is because I don't think they thought anyone would come to the website. I don't think it's a mobile UI only because they're dumb or anything. I just think they just launched and they're trying to get their app out. So I think this is basically what the app is supposed to be. This is the actual website that they gave people. Let me show you the website that they gave people because it's in our Discord. It's in the Comics Conversation. It's in the Platform Mechanics channel. Sorry, in the Discord. Sim posted it, and this is it. This is what they sent people. This website. Okay, so they're self-aware. They didn't just give us a dog shit thing. This is what they had. On some level, I would work for these people because they look interesting. They look like they're in the direction I want to be in some ways. But I'm working. Yeah, it's good. They're interesting. Anyway, let's do the page thing. Next. Okay, so there's a button. Oh, over there, left to right. Okay, swipe right to read. Oh, my bad. So it doesn't work with my directional control. So on my phone, I would be swiping right. I'd be clicking and swiping right, but because I'm on my computer, I can only click and swipe left. Oh, interesting. Okay, there it is. There are the pages. So this is a page comic, and then the way, okay, that looks cool. I like this banner. Banners are always important. This is an important thing. If a platform's thinking about marketing, they'll think about banners. They'll have a banner. I don't like that they just choose whatever art is available, but I get it. They haven't launched yet, so okay. Scrolling down. Oh, it's in French. Duke, je me demandais si tu pouvais m'aider avec le dossier Richstone. Je l'ai déjà terminé. Et tu vois, attends-toi quoi? Sorry, I can only read French. I can't like read French like I read English. I can't silent read French. J'ai pas les petits français, but like my French is dog shit. This language thing is weird though. I shouldn't be able to open a comic in a language I don't speak without knowing that it's in a language I don't speak. So that was weird. I don't know why that was there in the banner, but there was no like in French. Like these are things that you would think about, right? Okay, let's look around. My series. So I subscribe to a few things. Okay, my reading history. New episodes from the things I've subscribed to. Let's follow a creator. Let's see what it looks like. Let's see what it looks like when you follow a creator. Sorry, I'm like, oh, there. Cool. Interesting. Okay. So I followed her. These are the comics that the person makes. Chapter 1 and 2 are out. Okay. A language filter would be so helpful. And I followed this comic specifically. I followed this creator, this comic from the creator. Here Lies the Misgroves. Let's see my feed. That's still in development. Okay. All right. This is the homepage. This homepage is too short. You need way more stuff on the homepage. But I get it. You want to get stuff out. Okay, you have a dashboard system. Let's see the dashboard. Let's all see the dashboard together. As a creator, I just like I like these. I look like actual webcomics and not super professional industry comics. I do too. I agree. Let me log in. Let me log in 1 second. Sorry about that. I just don't want people to know my password. Okay, so I'm making a comic. This is my dashboard. We're on the dashboard, baby. We can add a new series. Let's make a new series. Let's call it Test. So you can add a banner image. Okay. You can say what type. Webcomic, webtoon, manga, novel. Okay. The language, English or Spanish. English or Spanish. The first one to move is gay. I watch way too much TikTok. No, I watch way too many. Oh, correction. I watch way too many YouTube shorts. I'm cooked. They also have French, English, French, and Spanish. Guys, just have all the languages. Like don't limit yourself to a certain language. Just have a language filter. They have genres. Action all the way down to thriller. Thrilling, am I right, boys? Okay. You can choose 3 genres. Okay. So I can choose action. I can choose adventure. I can choose boys love. Okay, interesting. And the status. Ongoing hiatus completed. Okay. That's very self-aware of what it's like to be a creator right there. It's way better than Green Namikomi, because Namikomi looks like shit sometimes. Okay, tags. Cool. Search tags. A synopsis. A punchline. So you're like tagline. Namikomi looks like shit sometimes. Like it just is true. I agree to the user agreement. Checkbox if it contains mature themes. Checkbox if it contains content generated by artificial intelligence. So that they're accounting for that. Interesting. Let's look at series settings. Let's make this test series, add a status. Ongoing. No, completed. Add a language. What do they want from me? Okay. You have to put tags. Add an image. Okay, let's see. What image do we want? What image can I add? Let's use the thumbnail of today's video. Let's see if it can even deal with that. Okay, cool. It's in there. Webtoon still doesn't have a complete series button for... Yeah, I mean, it's good that they want everything filled out. I think it's helpful. I get it. Okay, we've made a series. Okay, look, we've got stats, guys. You know, what I love about the stats thing, I saw it on their homepage. It reminds me of the Webtoon data project that I've been working on. So I don't know if you guys remember that. Webtoon Studio, the thing that I made with my team at Webcomics Hub. It basically reminds me of that. It's like it's thinking about things that we've thought about. So that's cool. Let's look at series settings. So you can change what a series setting is. You can add new publications. Or what is the publication? Oh, these are member access. Like these are like posts. These are like posts. Okay, these are like posts. Like you can add additional. All right. Okay, there's the feed, comments. So all the comments, and you can moderate. They're doing moderation tools. The statistics are coming soon. They're working on a monetization system with a Stripe dashboard where people just pay you. Okay, all right. They're working on resources. Interesting. All right. And they've got a support channel. Okay. That was all encompassing. That's all there. Shit. The only thing they need to do is like get the language filters to be more by default. And there's a few more things there, but yeah. Drop another diss track and my life is yours. I send them a message. I want to talk to them, learn about them, or learn like where they're even getting the money for this. There's a lot of things I'm interested in understanding about them before I commit to it, because they look good on paper, but like if they don't have the money to last, it's worthless. If they don't have an understanding of the industry that is a little bit deeper than what I've seen so far, it's worthless. And I presume they do. I just don't know if they do. You know? I have no guarantees. That was interesting. I didn't expect it to be that nice. The thing is, it already looks reader-friendly. Like, it's almost on track to being reader-friendly. In fact, the only thing I will say is that these filters, they need to work differently. Like, filters can be, here's what I believe. I think that the homepage that you get should be this lovely algorithmic thing based on what you read, but there should be a search button anyway. And that search button should have all the filters. And so when I open this, I'm going to see a bunch of stuff that I may not want to read. But if I want to find what I'm looking for, I go straight into the search, go straight into the filters. I know why they didn't do it. They don't have enough content yet. So they've not done it because they don't have enough content. And so they believe that this is the route to basically protecting their low amount of content from looking bad. I get it. Oh, I mean, I'm sure they would have a better desktop layout. This is just because they're only doing mobile first now. So they basically just made the mobile app, which is a web app, right? And they're going to put it on a phone, and then they'll make a web version, because web versions are important, really important. If they have link shortening, like, I'm not going to lie, I agree. Drop another diss track and my life is yours. This looks interesting. There's a lot of tertiary things that I don't know if they're doing or not. Would be interesting to learn, but this is really interesting. It's not tangents, it's not gimmicks. It's pretty on the money, pretty easy. Okay, all right. Yeah, there's a lot of things that they still need to do right on top of all of this, but sorry, my editor is finishing the Words and Pictures promo video. Anyway, there's a lot of things they still need to do on top of this. There's some tertiary tangential things. There's some work they need to do, but this is interesting. This is very interesting, like very interesting. Wow. Okay. Might sound harsh, but as a web dev, there might be it's a little concerning, even if they are doing mobile first, why the viewport is constricted. I hope they get some good engineers on there. I mean, I think at some level, this is pretty normal when I've seen other websites do this, where they just make the website the app. So the website is the app, right? And like the idea is they want to build the app version first, and it's all being hosted through the same CDN that delivers for the website, but they just haven't made the desktop version that will deliver the desktop experience. They've focused on the mobile version because they think that's the one they want to get right, because they think that's where most users will be, and then they'll do the desktop version after. I agree with you. It's weird that they've configured the viewport. They can let the viewport hang free, but At the same time, I'm not gonna. It's not confusing to me. I see the vision. And this is the iPad view. This is like the tablet view, if you can see. If you notice the width, this is a tablet view. So, like, there's probably some things they're working on here. But yeah, at least I got my username, so that's nice. This one was interesting. It was an interesting little dive, little shallow dive. I would love to see how they do memberships. I think memberships is not the right strategy. I think subscriptions are for sure the correct strategy. And there's a lot to learn about how to use those. In terms of like how to use them effectively for an audience, for your creators, and for yourself as a platform to make sure you make money. No, because they don't have any reads. The stats aren't ready. They're not ready to be viewed. It seems. See, when I click it, it says coming soon, so they're not ready to be viewed. When they are, I'll be happy to show you guys. I think the green is cute. I know why. I can see why you would do the green. It's almost an opposition. It's why one of the URLs I'm working on making for the contest is not webtoon.com. There's just a little bit of an opposition, in like the visuals. I get it though. Also, like the green's a little too close, but green's a great color. Green is just a really good color. Cheeky little green. Cheeky bit of green, Cheeky bit of green. So I can do memberships, get your series verified, add your Stripe account, and then you can add memberships. Cool. That's interesting. Okay. It's a monthly subscription they've got going on there. Wow. Deviant Art Eclipse Green. Gang. That's all the platforms I wanted to show you today. I feel like we all liked Uri. I feel like we don't like anything else. That sucks. I wonder what this industry is gonna look like in a few months. Oh, we did win on a good one for sure. I've been thinking about this all week. Like this stream, just talking about this stuff, talking about these developments. Yeah, me and I voted on Blue Sky. Maybe they'll respond to me and I could do an interview with them. I could talk to them. I would love to learn about them, at least. They seem like super nice people. They seem very genuine. And I love you guys know I love when people are genuine. Even the other guys seem very genuine. The Story Code guys seem very genuine. The Storygrounds guys seem very genuine. I love when people are genuine. I think it says a lot about your character when you can be honest that you're a fucking idiot and be very genuine about that. Okay, we're in question time. Welcome to question time. It's me, then. Question time. Ask me whatever you want to ask me. It's a great time to ask me any questions. Somebody asked me about Webtoon earlier. I'm sorry I didn't respond. I think it was Vidril. My Webtoon response is way too fucking late. Way too fucking late. But manga people are desperate, so this might be the only way they get to this. How am I doing? I've had a very exciting week. Can I say that? Yeah. I had a very exciting week. Lots of things have changed in my life in a good way. And every other day I think a little bit more about making this part of my life a bigger part of it. I don't know how I could do that though, but I hope one day that's true. What did Nami Komi do? Okay, let me talk about this. This is entirely conjecture. I want to be so fucking clear. Okay? This is conjecture. This is conjecture. There is no evidence of this other than what I'm about to show you. And that's not really evidence. Wee woo. I am not a lawyer. I'm not accusing anyone of anything. Okay. So, we all know Nami Komi is basically manga dex in terms of visual aesthetics. It basically has a lot of the same visual aesthetics as the manga dex website. Right? That one isn't alleged. That one is just true. That part is just true. The reason it seemed, from what I've been told by somebody, I was told that they were basically helped to set up the website with the MangaDex code, which is open source. So it's not like they couldn't get the code anyway. The code is open source, but they were basically helped set it up by the MangaDex team in return for what is tantamount to money laundering. In the way they said it. In the way they said it to me, The way they said it to me, it is money laundering. What they said, because I need to show it to you. 1 second. Where is it? Here. So, MangaDex's stuff is illegal content. Like it doesn't matter how we feel about this. This website is illegal. This website is illegal. It would not. It is committing copyright violations as we speak. It is taking content that it does not own. It is a scandalous website. It's taking content that it does not own, translating it against the will of the IP holders, and then publishing it. What we think about what effect that actually has on media or not is our own business. What matters here is the hard facts. This is illegal in most countries, right? Well, because this is illegal, MangaDex just can't, from what I understand, can't have money donated to them through typical means, right? Because essentially, if they make like a PayPal account or whatever, they'll get reported by Kakao or Webtoon or whoever, and then that would get their PayPal account, their Stripe account, their whatever account shut down. Okay? And so, what somebody said to me is that Namikomi got help from MangaDex out of their website. I don't even know if this is fucking true. This is the part where we're in full conjecture land. I don't know if this is true. It doesn't even color my opinion of them that much. I just don't like that, like, this is the relationship they're having as a place that's trying to look super legit. Anyway, what somebody said to me, what I was told by the source, was essentially, look, MangaDex is using Namikomi as a way to acquire money. Namikomi gets the donations, which are legal and allowed. They're allowed to get these donations. Then Namikomi sends the information about who donated and how much was donated, and then the money to MangaDex. So MangaDex gets to have their premium tiers. Namikomi gets to have help with the code from some developers for almost free, and MangaDex gets to keep making money. And all of this happens because Namikomi basically takes the fronts the bill, because they can just say, well, MangaDex has done nothing wrong. They set up an account and they open subscriptions. If somebody subscribes somebody who opens subscriptions for no reason, that's none of my business. It's not my fault. That's just how they work, and that's true. That's true. They're not offering any products for these subscriptions. They're not offering anything else. They're saying that you get products and like benefits on their website and images emailed to you, but like that's not Namikomi's prerogative. These are all off-platform offers that they're giving. So as far as Namikomi Namikomi is concerned, they've done nothing wrong, and MangaDex is concerned they've made their money. Yeah, this account is MangaDex's account. This is MangaDex's account. You're supporting MangaDex if you put money here. It's literally a funnel. Namikomi is acting as a funnel for MangaDex to make money, and MangaDex is a platform that cannot get money through most legal means because they'll get reported because their content is illegal. So essentially, Namikomi is allowing a company that hosts content illegally to make money. Yeah. That is the conjecture. I don't know how true that is. And in return, MangaDex does things like promote Namikomi comics on their platform. Like that. Have the Namikomi link. Help them with the code to initially get started and stuff like that. That's what the individual who I spoke to said about this. Again, fucking conjecture. I have no fucking clue if this is true. I have no fucking clue if this is true. Look, when I say shit on these podcasts, some CEO is always going to DM me on Twitter. Some CEO is going to DM me on Twitter or on the Discord or whatever. Do it. I'm not even here to fight you. Just fucking do it. But, like, the thing is, it's crazy if true, but all the information looks bad. At the very least, this looks bad. Like, I don't know how to say it. At the very least, this looks bad. It looks bad. It looks really, really bad. Imagine letting a guy who fucking, I don't know, what's like a comparable thing? Imagine letting a person who steals clothes for a living but can't resell them come to your shop and sell them through some obfuscated means. Because, I don't understand. Or like, this is like how in Japan, gambling for money prizes is illegal. So what pachinko parlors do is they reward you with a toy, and then you go to a location and you exchange a toy for cash. It feels like that. It feels like that. Like that kind of like on the line kind of behavior. Like, it's just a bad look. But we have no evidence that they even make money. Maybe they just made all these tiers and they never make money from these tiers. Maybe MangaNext is just delusional. Nobody gives them any money. Nothing happens. They've never been paid a single dollar by Namikomi. Ever. Maybe. That's completely possible. Now you know. You can think, if you think I'm crazy, please do so. What's not interesting, this just makes me want to stay further away. I don't even know. The thing is, I just think this is a bad look, but I don't think. But like, if bad looks were what I was judging people on in this industry, almost everybody in the industry is gonna deal with that. Adora Burp really left in the middle of that explanation, bro. I'm not doing this again. I refuse. You can rewatch it. You can rewatch it, Your Majesty. I refuse to do it. Imagine eating in the middle of an explanation about what could possibly be high stakes fraud. No, it's not fraud. Let me live, please. Oh shit, Hika's explaining it. Okay. This is the most notable thing to happen to me this week. Guys, look, there's an article about us. It's an article about us. Because it's us. We did this. This channel, everything this channel does, it's us. Okay? But yeah, there's an article about us in Comics Beat. If you should go to... Yeah, MangaNext is affiliated with Namikomi. Yeah, on Comics Beat. Look at us, we're on the beat, guys. We're on the beat. Look at us. Look at where we got to. They're talking about our comic contest that's happening right now. Our words and pictures at XYZ. And right now on words and pictures at XYZ. No, say it right now. That you can sign up to right now on words and pictures at XYZ. Yeah, right now at this very moment. Like, I'm just saying, like, I think you should go click notify me. When you click notify me, it brings a little pop-up. A little pop-up says you put your email address in there, and I can just send you an email. Send you an email, and then you can join the Words and Pictures contest. I don't even plug things that make me money. You know what? Let's plug something that makes me actual fucking money. Go to patreon.com/webcomics hub. I want money. This shit is expensive. Help me make the industry better. Become a consistent patron so that I can rely on your cash to do dumber things and to make things cost me less. I've spent so much money on this contest. I already do got you, BB. You're a real star. That's what you are. Anyone else have any other questions? Question time is now. Like anything related to today's topics, previous topics, future topics, things you want me to have an opinion on, things you never heard me talk about, things that you wonder what I've done. Maybe you don't like something I did. You want to call me out. Call me out. Open room to call me out. Can I go to the bathroom now? Yes, you can go to the bathroom now. Thank you for being good. How do you feel about the future of posting comics online? It's going to be... Okay. One, I think the future of comic posting is going to be super fucking interesting because it's going to depend on three things. One, what are the current platforms going to do? If every platform sticks to their top earner model, we're going to see a very stifled industry. I believe Webtoon is going to kind of probably shift almost exclusively to that top earner featured only model, basically. But I think platforms like Uri showing up, and depending on where I end up working in the future, because people, we just move. This is the industry. The industry's change all the time. But depending on where I end up working in the future, I will probably be working at, in my opinion, the place that's succeeding in that indie endeavor, right? And if somebody comes up doing that indie endeavor and they're succeeding and I'm working there, let's just say the future is going to be very bright as fuck. I think websites are going to be a really big deal. I think there's a lot of things that we can look at that are going to really benefit this industry going forward that we are going to see. Oh, someone gave me money. on Patreon. Thank you, Prescience. I know the Australian dollar sign when I see one. Not specifically webcomic related, but do you have an opinion on the image comics model? Look, I'm sorry, and this might be a stupid question, but I'm just going to look it up because, you know, we can learn. We always have time to learn. What is the image comics model? Like, is there a thing I need to... You mean like... Wait, do you mean the way Image Comics is run as multiple different companies under one major label? But really, like, it's like 4 or 5 different comic companies all masquerading as a guy in a suit? Is that what you mean? The way, like, they basically seem to run pseudo indie gigs under the pretense of being a major, of being a non-indie gig at the top. And like the way that allows them to basically funnel and move money around across their different studios as needed, even though they don't really do that in practice, but they can. Is that what you're talking about? And also the fact that the artists also own all the IP and shit. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I think that's good. That's always good. There's problems with the Image Comics model right now for me. I have problems with Image in general because I have a personal feeling of the fact that like Image, despite being this creator-owned space that's supposed to be like almost like a pseudo co-op, like Image almost operates like multiple distinct islands who don't talk to each other. And so like sometimes parts of Image just like aren't doing well. Or like Skybound, which is part of Image, seems to be, from what I understand, seems to be set to buy Image. Like Skybound, a subsidiary, might end up acquiring Image, the label, which I think is interesting. Because that's what this space breeds. That kind of like weird hierarchy, pseudo hierarchy. I don't always love it, but I think creator-owned stuff is great, and Image is very legit with that. They're very serious about that. They're very serious. I've spoken to people like Mark Silvestri once. I think I've spoken to Mark Silvestri only one time in a call with other people. Oh, did I get another patron? You guys are so nice to me. Anyway, what was I saying? I was spoken to Mark Silvestri, CEO of Top Cow, I think. Guy who runs Top Cow. The big cheese, the big kahuna at Image. As well. He's like his own guy. He's like a whole different beast. And like I trust him. Like I was in a different call with him and like some people at work. And I trust him. Because that's the best way to say it. I've never met a man who speaks in such a way that even if I didn't like him, I would love him. That's crazy. I don't know how to explain it. Mark Silvestri could walk up to me and like straight up drop a slur. And I would still think that he cares a lot about comics and he thinks this industry is important and he wants to do the best for this industry. And he wants to bring about the best for comics. Even though I don't like who he is as a person. Like that's just, the conviction of what he believes in is so surface level and solid. Like surface level and solid. And he never seems to waver. And when I talk to people who've known him for 20 years or whatever, or talk to people who've worked with him decades ago or whatever, they all say the same thing. They talk about him like that. I want to be him, to be quite honest with you. I want people to talk about me in 10 years and be like, Nen has always been consistent and always cared and always put creators forward and like doesn't make stupid decisions that just for the bag. I want people to talk about me like that. I don't know if the guy's always like that to everybody. I don't know the guy personally in terms of like, we're not friends, but like the interactions I've had with him are immensely positive. The people who have spoken about him to me have been immensely positive. It's weird. It's weird to meet somebody with that kind of social clout. And it's not like he's lauding it over you. He doesn't use it like that. He doesn't like play a game with it. He has it. And he's got that aura. He's got that dog in him. You know what I'm saying? He's got that dog in him. I really want to meet Mark Silvestri. I really want to hang out with him. Like not for work or anything. Literally to just sit down, talk about comics, learn about what it's like in the trenches, learn about him, and just like have a lovely chat. I would love that so much. You know, get drunk, like get fucking hammered. That sounds like it'd be so fun. I really want to meet Mark Silvestri. I really want to meet. No, because like I'm a little bit shy. Two, when it comes to interviews with people, I want to do on boots on the ground camera interviews with like a video camera, mics on the table, two people talking to each other. I would love to do that. I really want to do that when it comes to humans. One of the reasons I've kind of shipped away from interviews on the podcast is because I think people are more interesting when you meet them in their natural habitat. When you walk up to them in a room, in a place where they're operating, and you learn about them in that moment. And I would love to make content like that. That focuses on that angle, that aspect of being a creative. You know, where you see their face and you see their hands and you see like, this is what it looks like to be in the industry for 20 years. Right? This is what it looks like to be new. This is what it looks like to be hardworking and storied or not. So, you know, we'll get there. Maybe if my camera didn't die on me, I would probably do one sooner. But my camera literally fucking died. So I need to buy a new camera or just like get better at using, or like a second phone. Whatever. I'm just annoying myself right now. Oh my God. Yeah. Anyway, come to SDCC next year. You'll meet me there too. I really want to go to San Diego Comic-Con. How do I think the Comic Jam will go this year? So last year we got 43 entries. We got 43 entries last year, right? I want 100. I think 100 this year. I'm not going to San Diego this year. I think we're going to get 100 this year. And I think that's going to be really good. I'm really looking for it. I'm aiming for 100. Oh, by the way, guys, the Comic Jam video, Cloudy Magpie asked for this, and so it's being made. The Comic Jam video is made. Like, it's literally with the editor, it's almost done. I have not looked at it, but I've done all the recording and audio work and sent all the photos off. It is made. It will be a short. I will post it in the Discord. I want you to share it. I want people to share this thing. I really, really want to rely on you to help me out here. Okay? I'm going to be really fucking annoying about it. I'm going to email people. I'm going to email groups. I'm going to email Spider Force. I'm going to email Hiveworks. I'm going to email everybody. Okay? So, like, I'm going to be fucking annoying. You be annoying with me. And we can get something out of this. The theme will allow you to insert Catboys. They will allow you to insert Catboys. July is for Art Fight. August is for Words and Pictures. Tell me about it. Southern lights start jumping to sun. I can't sing. Somebody asked me a different question. 1 second. Have I heard of the AI tool Krita is developing? No, I know nothing about Krita. I don't use it. Is it bad? Like, talk to me about it. Tell me what you know. AATR, Artists at the Ready. Let's look that up. I've never heard of them. Hold on. Artists at the Ready. Oh, deviant art. That's not good. Okay. What the fuck is this? There's a tournament. Is this like an animation tournament? It's one of the biggest deviant art comics competitions. They announced a new one for the first time. Really? They announced a new one now? When I'm doing other things, they announce one right now? It's comics. This is so fucking ass. This is terrible. I can't fight history. I can't fight historical context. What do you mean? When is it even is it happening right now? Oh, it's happening right, like it's on right now. Like it's going on right now. Damn. Anyway, the Krita, that's crazy. Okay. Oh, they just announced it. When is it happening? Oh, the auditions haven't started yet. Why is this off the there's a lot of things I don't like about this, but like, you know, all right. This is it's AATR 6. Okay, Django Mono said something about Krita AI. Let's look it up. Krita AI. Let's look this up. Okay. Krita AI tool. Krita AI Diffusion. Okay. It seems to be made by some guy called Ackley. This isn't from Krita as far as I can see. It's not under their account. This is a different person's account. This is a plugin from like a rando. I think that this is the only thing. Krita Fast Line Art. Okay, cool. Thanks, babe. Oh, there. Introducing a new project, Fast Line Art. In the coming few months, we'll be sharing. Okay. So basically, you make the sketch. It takes your sketch. It solidifies some lines. I mean, this is actually useful. What? Okay. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, not like this. Oh, you posted the link? I didn't even see it. I'm so sorry. But I got it. I'm looking at it right now. This looks cool. I think it does. Clip Studio might have that feature. I think this looks harmless. In comics tourneys, there's usually limited slots, so this usually an audition phase. Oh, I didn't know comics tourneys were like a whole thing. Crazy. Okay, that's new to me. I didn't know comics tourneys were a whole thing. Yeah, I mean, this looks great. Like, this is solving the problem. This is actually solving a real problem that creators have. No, yeah, I like it. I think it's good. I think it's a good thing. Look, I want to be like so upfront with you. I don't think AI is like inherently bad. Just so everyone knows. Like, I don't think AI is inherently bad. I'm literally at this very moment writing a video about how AI is not the problem. And neither is piracy, but that's a different conversation. That's a similar conversation. I've been writing a video about AI piracy for like 2 months. I've been doing research about piracy and its effects on sales, and AI and its effects on sales. I'm going to be so real with you. AI is not inherently the problem. Because it can do shit like this, and the shit like this is pretty good. No, the thing is, it looks like a pretty good concept. Like, it just looks good. Like, this makes sense. This makes sense to me. Making a tool that better does what the Clip Studio line art tool does, but better, more consistently, is good. I'm on board. Of course, we'll see if it can achieve it, but all it's doing, Inky, is literally looking at the trajectory of this line and making a line that goes in the middle of it. That's it. Like, it's literally just finding the line of best fit, using a little bit of AI wizardry and like a little bit of like knowledge it has about about point interpolation. Basically, like 2 points exist, you need to put a line between the two of them. That's interpolation. Anyway, there's a lot of artists upset about it though. Yeah, artists get upset about everything. That's not enough for me most times. I usually need more than that. Because it's not making lines that weren't already there. It's literally cleaning your lines up. This is a useful use case for AI. This is a fantastic use case for an AI tool. This is what you want. Yeah, might as well color the sketch. Like, this is wonderful. I need my sweet line variation. I completely agree with you. You want that line variation. You want that feel like a human has made weird mistakes and additional things. I'm with you, and I think it makes complete sense. And there's probably going to be a way to add that in. Or you can just do it, right? But if you've got hundreds of illustrations to make this year, you're a working artist. Like, we need to remember, some of these tools are for working artists. Not for somebody who is like just making a comic and has like a feel they're trying to put through and a story they're trying to tell. People whose job it is to basically draw dozens of these a year. And you're telling me that they can skip the line art phase? They can skip hours of relining something that they just spent hours sketching? I think very few people would be upset about that. Personally. I think this helps. And what's great is where it doesn't work, like let's say you do a very complicated sketch and it doesn't work in some parts, right? You have a mostly clean sketch. You can just clean what's left over. I think that makes sense. Oh no, this write-up is good. Like I get a quick scan, and like it's sponsored by Intel. It's supposed to it's a great way for Krita to get some additional money to make a tool that's really high concept that he would never be able to afford otherwise. This is awesome. That's the thing, yeah, exactly. Linda's made a really good point in chat, and Linda is a professional fucking artist. It's a tool that is useful, but if you never fucking want to use it, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And this is one of those times where it really doesn't, like, it's not even theoretically harmful. It's not stochastically harmful. It is just harmless, completely. No, the Clip Studio has a line art tool that, like, it turns sketches to line art, but I don't remember what it's called. I remember they announced it at some point when they were talking about 2.0 or 3.0 or something. Yeah, 3D models into clean line art. There it is, yeah. Like, this is the same concept. Like, I don't know. I feel like if we're acting like this is some kind of fucking evil thing, like, it's really not. Also, can we have a little quick conversation about AI? 90% of AI tools are machine learning tools. All Krita is doing is running a very intelligent machine learning software on your computer, which you're used to. You already accept that. This is a perfectly fine tool. I think if anyone's getting mad at this, they're crazy. Because the LLM that they're going to be using is likely very purpose-built to this product, which means they probably made the LLM themselves. I don't think they don't even talk about using anyone else's LLM. It looks like they're working to make their own thing. Yeah, look, they're basing this off of this publication. I've read this publication. This is Simon Sarah's. Yeah, I've read this publication. This is about convolutional networks for like CNNs for rough sketch cleanup, right? This publication is literally just fucking maths and machine learning, dude. AI is just a fucking buzzword. Yeah, I know. But yeah, I've read this paper. I've read this specific paper because I've been reading all the AI papers in the last year for a whole thing, But like, I've been reading all the AI papers, and this is a CNN, and all it does is it looks at the rough, it finds the most standout things there, and it tries to make them solid lines with little variance, so that you can work with that. That is perfect. It does its best, assuming that everything's going to be aligned. And I look at that cleanup. This is what it does on this paper. And so they're just making their own they're making their own CNN based on this, which like makes sense. Yeah, you have your input image, your target image, your loss map. Yeah, this all makes sense. Like, no, this all makes complete fucking sense. It's just iterative machine learning. Like, it's just machine learning. Yeah, Krita has like a ton of FOSS UI failings. So quite frankly, the fact that they're getting this money is good. Like, it means that there's a real chance that they're going to get money, they're going to work on something really good, have some money left over, use that little leftover money to kind of fix some of the shit in their program. So, like, yeah. I don't know. This seems like a net positive. I think if you have a problem with this, you're a clown. I hate to say it, you're a clown. Unless you have a real good fucking argument, I need to hear it, because otherwise I think you're a clown. Krita is doing something. Yeah, Krita is open source. This LLM may not be open sourceable though, so it depends, because Intel's sponsoring it, so it might be closed source. It might be a closed source extension that they introduce it as. It might be. I'm not saying it is. I said it might be. Intel is not like against open source. I'm just pointing out that Intel is paying for it. What program is this? This is on Krita. Krita is a drawing tool. Krita is a drawing tool. It's an open source drawing tool. It's mostly used by game designers and artists that don't have money. That sounds funny, but it's true. Yeah, Krita is really good, but it's got a terrible UI. Don't use it. Like if you're looking at it because you're like, I want to use it, don't use it. Krita's UI is dog shit. Absolutely dog shit. Awful. Don't do that to yourself. You deserve better things in life. Anyway, I think people seem upset because AI is just a blob of a word. It makes people mad when they hear it. I mean, to some extent, yeah. Oh, you're using Procreate. Cool. Yeah, that makes sense. That's super reasonable. I just wanted to save you the stress of finding out that you wouldn't like Krita. Django is speaking facts. People really do be calling things AI for no reason, and it's you open the code and it's like if line color line else nothing. We live in the future, you know? We live in the future. This is so goofy. Artificial inflation of my stock portfolio. It's not even doing that anymore, so it's just sad. Okay. Is that all the questions for today? Are we question free today? Interesting. We got some really complicated questions, to be honest. There's still room for more. If you have one, it could be about anything. Yeah, you only missed like a really like there's this stuff we talked about. It's interesting, but yeah. How's the bass ukulele? I love the bass ukulele. I'm learning so much bass. We just have to. Hey, look, just in case, Inky, I gotta check. You know, I know people always got questions for me. I'd rather answer them now than never answer them at all. I want to, especially because 3 people just like joined my Patreon. You know, more people can join my Patreon. You can join my Patreon. Webtoon drama and a half. Well, F, you know what, F? I have some good news for you. I have some good news for you. I'm dropping 2 Webtoon drama videos. They're just summaries of old streams, so you get to watch them better edited and like at least like, you know, feel the energy. It's like drinking juice that you made a week ago. So look forward to that. They're coming out in a few days. I mean, one of them. I can just put the video out today. I'll do it on Tuesday. I'll do it on Monday. Or even I'll do it tomorrow. That sounds like fun. All right. Oh. Yeah, you're gonna get some Weeko juice. Let's go. Okay, if that's everything, if everyone's happy, I'm happy. I love hanging out with you guys. It really makes my weekends. Usual stuff. Follow me on Twitter and Blue Sky. Please do not use my fucking Instagram. I hate Instagram. I hate Instagram. It's the worst app. Also, didn't they just allow porn? I hate Instagram. Please follow me on Twitter and Blue Sky. I hate to say it. Join the Discord, discord.webcomicshub.co.uk. That's the link. That is the actual link. Join the contest, wordsendpictures.xyz. The link will be in the chat, in the YouTube chat at least. So that's cool. Join the contest. Share the link with your friends. Share the news article with your friends. That's in the Discord too. You know, it's on Comics Beat. Share it. Put it to as many people as possible. I want people to join. You can join. The only person in this chat, the only like 3 people in this chat that can't join, and like they know why. Everyone else can join. So like join the contest. You know, make a comic with your friends. You can join with as many people as you want. It's just for fun. Remember, put the joy back in making comics. See you guys August 1st for that contest. Thank you so much for coming to another episode of the Webcomics Hubcast. I am so tired. You know what? Next week, let's do a drawing stream. Let's go back to an oldie but a goodie, a drawing stream. I have the tablet out here. We're gonna keep following Mariam Jeswick's how to draw. Remember to like this video. You can do that right now, liking it on YouTube. Remember to subscribe to the channel. Remember to share this video to other people that you love. And I love you. I actually do. Have a wonderful day, evening, night, morning, blah blah blah. I am going to go drink some soda. Goodbye. Good night, America.